Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear me good? Hey, Fairy Floss, JoJo, JPL. Sorry, y'all. I'm trying to put me some socks on my feet are cold. It's been starting to get in our little winter phase of in Florida. I wouldn't call it winter, but it does get cold down here sometimes. My tootsies were cold. Let's see, BJ. Hey, Patty Ponytail, Tammy, High Priestess, Meditate Daughter. Oh, BJ, you remember before I started my channel? You've been around a while then. Well, there was a year, like, whenever Kylie Rodney's case started, that, well, look, before that, I was posting, like, stuff about narcissism because, like, it's not really something to brag about, but I'm very educated about it because I've done tons and tons and hours and days and years of research on everything about it. And, I'll post little things here and there, and because I just wanted a community tab, so I could chat with people. I didn't want to go live. I didn't want to do none of that shit. But and Kylie's case come along, and bam, I started. I'm a digger. I like digging in these cases. I started digging in Kylie because it interests me, and I was finding shit that nobody else was, and I'm like, started posting. Here we are. I just started going on panels. I think it was last year, and the only reason my first time I went on panel, the only reason it was is because I went up to defend a really good friend of mine that was getting done shitty. But after the first time you go on somebody's panel, it's easier. It gets easier. It does. And I never thought I'd be over here talking about myself. I like being a standalone. I wouldn't consider myself a creator, but you see a lot of these channels, they have to have people on panel with them in order to have their live. Does that make sense? I can name some names, but I'm not. But like Cher, she's a standalone pretty much. Me and her, and I go up there with her sometimes when I can. Yeah, I don't need nobody. I do my own thing. Yeah, JPO, it's getting a little cold here. It's not like no snow or nothing, but like, yeah, it gets cold. Right, Fairy Floss, I hold my own. Yes. Hi, Heidi Moon. Bathing suit mama. I knew that was you last night. I was like, I know that was Heidi because at like the same time I sent my package and I remember it. Because you just had your initial or something as your picture. Poor Cher, she's a stoner. Fairy Floss, Sonia here in chat, I call her Fairy Floss. Um, Cher still don't remember that that's who I call Fairy Floss. She forgets every time. Bless her heart. Oh yeah, no snow. The only time I miss snow. See, I grew up in Kentucky and we got snow. We had the four seasons there. I miss snow on Christmas because every year, um, Christmas, me growing up and stuff, it snowed and we'd go sleigh ride. But I had a really big family too. I miss snow at like the holidays when it should be. Oh, BJ, that's awesome. I know you've been around a while, but I just didn't know how long. I know you've been around. But I like it getting a little bit cold here in Florida. And it gets like bone chilling cold. Sometimes about February we'll get a couple weeks of really, really cold. I don't like that. But I don't mind a little cold because it's hot all the fucking time. I do a little green. That's what took me a minute. I was a few minutes late. Fairy Floss, having a white Christmas is, but my white Christmas, even when I was older, I liked them, when I was still in Kentucky, but my childhood, I had I'm very blessed with I had an amazing childhood. I didn't suffer any abuse. I had a big family, like Christmases, we would all, gather at malls. And, I grew up in the backwoods of Kentucky. There's hills, and we go sleigh riding. There's my one uncle. He would take all of us kids, after we ate and stuff, like on Christmas. And I'm very blessed. I had a fantastic childhood. And, yeah. And I was raised right. And I don't just say that, but I know family is family, and morals and respect. And I'm hillbilly as fuck. I see people on here sometimes wanting to trash hillbillies, like Candace and Dawn and stuff. Don't do that for real, because that's kind of racist to like hillbillies. You know what I'm saying? Because it bothers me when people say this, and I'll correct them and be like, no, don't, because I'm hillbilly as fuck. I really am, and I'm proud of that. You could put me in the middle of nowhere, give me a wood stove, and I could live the rest of my life. And no, don't group everyone. That's people's fucking problems with everything, you know? Right, BJ Country don't mean dumb. I'm I think I'm pretty fucking smart, honestly. And I've been told that. I was told I had a big brain, and you can't stop putting down hillbillies. I'm hillbilly. And I wish that a lot of more people could have been raised like I was. It's a whole different world. I'm not like hillbilly in Eastern Kentucky where like the coal mines and stuff are in Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky. Now them motherfuckers are hillbillies. They're the ones that sit on the front porch with shotguns and stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, there's deeper hillbillies than me, but I am very hillbilly, and I consider myself that, and I have my whole life. My whole family does. And I get tired of people fucking putting it down. Sorry, I had a rant about that because it's kind of racist. I mean, I'm not racist or yelling at, but you know what I mean. It kind of is. Like, no, no. All right, we're going to continue. Y'all, I got a little stoned before this live. That's why it took my intro to play a little bit longer because I was coughing to freaking death. We're going to continue where we left off. It's been a while, I know, with the holidays. I don't know if y'all remember me talking about I had some baby kittens I was bottle feed, or they wouldn't even bottle feeding. Well, I lost them on Thanksgiving Day, and it's been very, very hard on me. And yeah, but I know I've seen people here and there ask about the kittens, and I didn't answer them. But I lost my little babies, and there was nothing I could do. They were less than a week old, and they were eat up with fleas. I couldn't do nothing to get the fleas off of them because they were so tiny and puny, weak. But I would do it all over again. And I told the lady that wanted me to foster these kittens. I told her, I said, yeah, I would do it again. At first, I was like, no, I can't do this again, man, because I'm heartbroken over it. Um, but no, I want to do it again. If someone needs me to foster, yes. Because the few days I had with those little kittens, it was, I don't know. And if they had, you know, lived and stuff, I was going to keep both of them. We had planned to keep both of them, but everything happens for a reason. But I gave them my all, and I do know that their last couple of days, short days on this earth, they were loved and fed. All right, I gotta mute a second. Sorry, I didn't plan to do this, but I just wanted to update on my kitties, and I'm just heartbroken. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. It's hard. I'm an animal lover, man. I went to veterinary school. I think I've talked about this a few times out here, but I did go to prison back in my early 20s, and after I got out, I moved and I went to this area. I went to Cincinnati. I moved to Cincinnati, and because they have a program up there for felons, to get you back in the streets and stuff. And well, I chose to go back to school, and I went to school for a vet tech assistant, and I went through it, and I graduated, and I was working up there, and then I moved back home to Kentucky like a dumbass, and yeah, I went to vet school, if that's what you want to call it. The next step that I had to do, I had to go and do a 2-year course to get something, an associate's maybe, and but yeah, animals are my life, man. I wish I could just. That's why I'm very passionate too about, like, because I want to have my own homeless domestic violence women's shelter that's pet friendly, because stuff like that's very important to me. Can be heartbroken is so hard. It is, man, and it's like, man, I've had, I'm sure a lot of us have so much in our life, and it started when I was 19. I lost my mama, man. It's like that was my rock, and I always think, well, nothing can ever hurt, like mama did. But I mean, they don't hurt. Nothing can hurt worse than my mom, except for my children. Um, but it hurts, you love, and loss is hard. I still got my two little wiener dogs, though. Oh, I did rescue a betta fish about 2 months ago. I had got me a tank and cycled and stuff. I wanted a beta. I wanted a male one because they're the pretty ones. And I was gonna order a fancy one from a breeder and all this and that, but it was like $50. I was gonna do it. I was like, no. I was like, fuck it. I can go to a Pet Smart and shit and get them in cups. And I just went checking it out. And there's this little sad looking beta fish. It's pitiful to have them in cups. They should need to be in 5 gallons of water or more. But anyways, and I picked the worst looking little beta, and he's so beautiful now. And he knows me, and he'll come up to the tank whenever I'll go up to it, and I'll do kissies, and he'll do it back to me. Because I knew people had been saying that betas get to know who you are. That's like one of the fish that like recognize humans, and like he'll follow me because I got him on the bar in between my kitchen and living room, and he'll follow me around the tank. I just love him so much. His name is Mr. Donald Trump, and I call him Trumpy because he's when I got him, he was red, white, and blue. His head was white. Well, little did I know it wasn't supposed to be white. It was because he was sickly, and now it's black. So he's red, blue, and black, but his head's black. And I was like, "What the fuck, man? Like, is something wrong with him?" His head's turning black. And I was in this beta group on Facebook, and they're like, "No, that's what he's supposed to look like." I was like, "Yes, I'm doing something right. His fins are growing." I don't know about no beetles, fairy floss. I don't like insects. I don't like lizards. I don't like frogs. I love turtles. I love birds. I want a bird so bad. I I was when I was younger, I loved cats. I loved them. And then I don't know, I just kind of grew out of it. I wasn't really a cat person as I got older, and yeah, I've always been a dog person. I love dogs. My very first dog, my papa surprised me because I wanted a cocker spaniel so bad, and I was a papa's and granny girl. I was the only granddaughter, but I begged and I wanted this dog. I wanted a cocker spaniel. I always wanted a cocker spaniel. My papa surprised me on my birthday once. He said, "I got something we're gonna go look at." There's all these little cocker spaniel puppies, and I'm like, "Are we getting one?" He said, "No, I just want to show you what they look like as babies." And then, and he let me play with stuff, and he's like, "Which one you like?" And I picked one out, and I took it home, and yeah, that was my first doggy. My granny and papa that bought me the cocker spaniel always had chihuahuas. Very floss. We have lizards here. I had one in my house once here, and okay, we have, our Wi-Fi router thingy, and, like, it's got a thing underneath, so it can breathe, so it don't get too hot and stuff. Well, I was like, "Oh my god," I seen something because I got a lot of house plants too, and I seen something, I was like, "That better not be a fucking lizard," because that's, like, my fear. Then I seen it, and I was like, "Oh my god," and it went under my router thingy. I was like, "Fuck, what am I gonna do?" And I looked down there, and his eyes was glowing, so I went and got me a trash bag. I scooted him, that router, every fucking thing in the way, right in that fucking trash bag, took it outside and threw it. Nope. And like, um, if it gets too cold here, the iguanas and lizards here in Florida, like they're in trees, they will freeze to death and fall out of the trees. But after they like thaw out, they come back to life. They're that kind of thing. They fall out of trees here if it gets too cold. I don't like things that jump like lizards and frogs and like I love turtles. I'd love to have a turtle. I want a bird so bad. I do it. My dad always has birds. He ain't got them now because he's older, but he's got two little chihuahuas. Chihuahuas. I love chihuahuas. I had a few in my life. I just love animals. I love fish tanks and stuff. And I want a sugar glider. I love sugar gliders. I like ferrets, but the only thing they stink. Yes, very false. I love turtles too. I do. I'd love to have one. Okay, I'm gonna look and see where we're gonna start here while we're chit chatting. Let's see. JPL animals are so innocent, and they love you unconditionally. And man, they're my weakness. They are my weakness, especially dogs. I love me some dogs. I like little dogs. I want a full size wiener dog. My wiener dogs are the miniature ones because there's two sizes. There's the miniature and the standard. I want one standard one. I want the male. I want a male standard one. They're like a normal big size. Getting fixed, of course, he'd be humping my girls and I'd have to fuck him up. Or I want a beagle hound. I love beagles. My papa, the one that got me the Cocker Spaniel, he was a rabbit hunter and he always had beagles. Awesome dogs. Awesome family pets. And shit. Chihuahua Coonhound. That's kind of a different breed. Never heard of that. I was actually looking for a Chihuahua when I got my first wiener dog. I wanted a Chihuahua, and one of my good friends out on the road has a wiener dog, a little one, and I fell in love with her. And then I came across, this litter that I got my girl from, and it just so happened I was going to be working in that city when it was time for her to be separated from her mama, and I know it just worked out. So I got her. Okay. The last thing that we played was analyzing the analyzing of the I don't know, you know how shares things are. I don't even remember what it was. I'll play like the last 10 minutes of that so we can remember because it's been a few days. I love hummingbirds, BJ. I do. I love those too. Just a second. All right, I will be in chat and we're going to begin.
You don't need credentials, but you trash talk Chris M. Who does? I trash. So just because you have credentials doesn't mean that you're not abusing them. Sorry. There's people with credentials that lie for money. Did you know that? Like proven. People with credentials aren't that trustworthy either, or that moral or good of people. So I don't really give a shit.
Remember, TBI does not want any tips from you. Well, I mean, if you're going to go off half-cocked theories, then no, they don't want that. But if you have evidence, like if, hey, I was walking down the road and I found pants that looked like the ones that Summer was wearing in that last picture, they'd want to know that. I mean, like common sense kind of tips, not like I had a dream that Summer was in California.
Oh yeah, they're accusing me that I am sitting on tips. I don't. There's no tips. I mean, if you don't think their phones aren't bugged,
Yeah,
I don't know what to tell you. And if you actually think that if for some reason they were guilty and I knew something and I wouldn't turn it in, you're wrong. But they're not. I know basically their whole life stories. I've even talked to some family members no one else has talked to yet. And I know the truth. He's not guilty of anything. Can you guys see it in his face? It's exactly why I like him to show his face. Hey, Mr. Wells, please don't wear a hat. I want people to see your face.
mm.
Like
And that's why I said earlier, like if he is lying, he is a phenomenal actor.
he deserves
Because
awards.
if you just look at that guy, like he looks beat down,
Mm-hmm.
and he's always apologizing and everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's, yeah, I don't get the vibe from him that he did anything. I could be wrong, but I just don't get that vibe.
We are human. Compassionate. Summer is the victim, not Don. Remember. Yes, B.
I'm going to stop it there. Sorry, I'm hitting the ball. I might cough, but what Mark just said here, that's how I felt this whole time up until like a few weeks ago. And that changed all this time. I felt the same, and now it's like, what the fuck?
How the hell do you know that you are? Hey, Amy. We don't talk about his boys here. We talk about Summer and Don and Candace. Everything else is off topic or off limits. Yeah, he really does. And a lot of people have said, wow, they see him a little different. Well, he knows he's not being tricked. He's
Yeah,
very comfortable. When you're just honest, can I record you and ask you a few questions, Don? Sure thing. Look how comfortable he was because he wasn't being tricked and lied to.
yeah, exactly. And hopefully that he and Candace will do that thing on my channel. I think that would really help everybody too, and it'll bring Summer back into the foreground,
Yep.
which I think is it's getting lost.
Yeah.
It's all about Dawn now.
And now, unfortunately, Chris has made it that way, as well as having it in the media. The public has formed opinions, and then you have these retired officers or whatever manipulating people with thousands and thousands and thousands of people watching. So now, yeah, it has turned more into Don. And of course, what does he want to do but defend himself? We all understand that, right? So it is what it is at this point.
Trinda, I think you're asking what my channel name is. I'll put the link there. Michelle B, what do you think happened? I honestly don't know. Like, I don't know enough to really give a hard opinion. If I had to put money on something, honestly, and I know this is probably Don, I know, but I think there was some kind of accident. If I had to put my money on something right now.
I think she was took.
Yeah, and she thinks that someone was abducted. But yeah, and you know what? Like, I'm pretty sure Don was listening to that, and that's just where my gut is. That doesn't mean I'm going to mistreat anybody.
He does not have track marks. I've seen his arms. I've seen his legs. He's got hella bug bites. He's got scratches. I promise you, I saw no track marks. That's not true. I don't know. But you could tell by the interview, Chris doesn't really know a lot of things that he's talking about because they did get their phones back. He did buy Candace a phone at AT&T, but that was because a tower just went in there, which is AT&T, and their internet service there sucks. You see that he keeps driving into town to have Wi-Fi. They thought if Candace at least had a nice phone, especially after all of this happened with Summer, that she would get better reception because it was very crappy reception. Even the 911 people, the law enforcement even says like it was hard, even when they were searching the
They
reception,
were having trouble just
contacting
keeping
each
contact
other.
with each other.
Yeah,
there, yeah.
so they were given their phones back right away. And I can vouch for that. I can see it. So, Mr. Chris, I don't know what you're talking about.
He's just speculating, just like thinking he was in the shed when he was out there interviewing Candace.
Yes, Kat, things were deleted from the phone, like you said, but I think it was after like the police downloaded what they needed. I don't know. He was under the impression that it automated because that's what the police had all taken, and so maybe that's why it was deleted. But do you think he's going to be that dumb and put it out there nationally? The police, I don't know what happened, blah, 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 blah. It's possible they did that because of all of the YouTubers and social media meddling in things and hindering an investigation. You heard law enforcement, right? Sorry, I'm not in there calling TBI and law enforcement with all of these stupid YouTube tips, so it ain't me. I'm talking to Don. I'm sharing things with people to hopefully help see a different side of things, but I'm not calling in tips and hindering an investigation. I'm staying to my platform and my phone, and that's it.
Missy, I did hear some crocodile talk. I don't know why crocodile isn't popular. I mean, it's real, it exists, but it's not a real popular thing because everybody knows once you start taking that, you're pretty much done for.
Good. Glad AB is streaming this. That can get his channel in a lot of trouble, and he's already being reported. Like, whatever, AB. I'm glad you need my content for your channel. Enjoy.
Yeah. Not much of a man, are you?
No. But anyways, I just wanted to hop on here and kind of just chit chat. I've had a rough day. Some of y'all cheer me up. And also, Don wanted to just say hello and thank you everyone who has an open mind. Thank you to the people who are supportive. But I'm gonna hop off here, watch some TV, and have some snacks with hubby.
Okay, that's the end of that one. Hey, Running Bear. I took boobs off my name on this channel, if y'all didn't notice. I want to be respectful to the children, you know what I mean, and families. And I mean, even though my name has nothing to do with these cases, but yeah, I've changed it a few times. Last time I done this was during Kylie's case because I had boobs on it, and I switched it to Cotton Candy Investigates. But I don't like Investigates. I don't know. I don't like that. But before I was boobs, I was just Cotton Candy for years. So are you, Running Bear. I'm glad we crossed paths. Shit, I got cotton mouth. I can't even talk. Yes, Running Bear, I sure will. Fairy Floss boobs. Right, boobs. You want to get started on boobs, Fairy Floss? Now, my other channel is Cotton Candy Boobs. If you were to like type in Cotton Candy Boobs, like that's the only channel I have with that name now. So, because people are getting confused too on my channels, you know what I mean? But I will post the link. Fairy Floss, I love the fuck out of you. I wish you would come to America to meet me. How about next summer you make a plan to come to Florida for like, even if it's just a weekend? Please. There ain't too many people I want to meet from here. And hi, Justice Jane. Right, justice for Summer and the boys, I agree. You're a confused squirrel, BJ. I'm a squirrel too, honey. I'm all over the place. Let's see. See, I done scrolled off and forgot what I was doing. I was getting um, oh yeah, Running Bear. I'm in Florida. Justice Jane, I just unblocked you today. I don't know why I had you blocked, so please don't make me block you again. I'm just saying. I really don't even remember why I blocked you, but I took everybody off my block list today except for one person that will never be taken off my block list. And that's you, Franklin. You know who you are. I ain't gonna beat around the bush about who it is. Oh yes, Fairy Flossing. If you get a chance to come to America, take it, please. I got caught now from hell, y'all. Okay, now I was looking toward. Hold on just a second, y'all. Better cough. Okay, I was looking at the next video for us to watch of Cher's, and I'm not sure what they are, because this was over 2 years ago. And so we're gonna look together. Shit, I just muted myself. Let me see here. So you have to go all the way back through. Oh, look, there was me and her. Oh, that was the very first live stream I went on. I was telling you all about right here.
Yes, we were missing you. Damon, you should be blue still too. Let me make sure. Let me pull up YouTube. Bobina, Lori, Dalen.
See, I don't remember. I'm not gonna watch all
What
this.
is your title mean? Let me look at it. Mess with me. Karma will do her job, but mess with my friends and I become karma.
Me and Cher was taking up from when
I
our
am
friends
very,
here.
very defensive of my friends. I defend my friends. Oh, look at the daughters are in here. Love you. Thank you for being here. Cotton candy boobs. So yeah, this stream. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. It's like chaos back here.
My very first time on panel,
Courtney,
right here.
bestie, love you. Okay,
I
hold
forgot
on
about
here.
this.
So let me pull this up. Let me pull up chat on YouTube side. There we go. So I can see it. There we go. Oh, Tracy Carr, member for 7 months. Thank you so much. Hey, Nicolina, MGL threatening me, please. That bitch. She likes to talk a lot. No, she likes to tear down people who she used to call a friend. Hey, everyone. Okay. So yeah, okay. My title. Well, the title is just that I am being defensive of my friend. I do not like what people are spreading around with about, well, currently Jay is for Justice podcast, who is a very good friend of mine. Now, I was minding my own business, re-listening to some Summer Wells stuff, on the YouTubes, and I get a text message from, oh, I don't think is that really you? Is that you? I can't hear you or see you. You have to come back, Cotton Candy. Anyways, minding my own business, get a text message. It's my sister, Cotton Candy Boobs. I am horrified at what is going on. Set up a stream for Monday, and I've got some shit to say. And I'm like, okay, we are doing this. So this is going to be, I believe, her first Cotton Candy Boobs first live stream, and it's a hot topics but serious conversation that we both want to have with everyone and just give people a rude awakening, because people are throwing around a lawsuit and a certain
I do want to play this a little bit. It's got nothing to do. I should probably change the title because I don't want. But this just shows. I don't know. Just watch it. Some of y'all might remember this. This shows you don't know what goes on with people behind closed doors and what they're going through, and you can't believe everything you see on the internet. This one, just I was pissed. Somebody was fucking with some Jays for Justice. That's who I, and yeah, we were very close to Jay, you know, and
article going around about Jay is for Justice. And honestly, the article has been edited because let me tell you, when I like, believe me when I tell you, she has a perfect countersuit for that article and for the people behind that article as well, because what they did was disgusting. Cotton candy boobs. Are you muted still? Okay, we'll let her fiddle with her sound and get that working. You're on mute. Oh, do I have you muted?
let me fill you out on what happened. WFLA. This is not bad. This ain't what was pissed over. The news station during the Gabby case, they're suing Jay over that because she covered it and used it as her own or something or whatever. Well, they put an article out, but at the very, very end of the article, they started talking about Jay's home life and her domestic violence that she was going through, all kinds of fuck shit. And I seen it. Molly first posted it and the link to it. Molly did. And I seen it early in the morning and I was like sharing you know, yeah, the lawsuit, whatever, you know, but you no, you're just watch this. I was pissed. I made somebody cry on this live.
No, I don't. Yes, they now started attacking Cotton Candy Boobs as well for defending her friends and for, oh geez, being my friend, defending what she knows and feels in her heart is right to her and things that are important to her. So let's just get on the bandwagon and not only bash her for those things, but bash her because she started a channel and she wanted to start with community posts only. And some people took that as a reason to want to bash her, which is ridiculous. The very people bashing her for that, Cotton Candy Boobs has literally helped these people's channels and been there for these people. It's unbelievable. Y'all know she's been a very big part of the community for a while now. Okay, we're not doing cameras. Are you on mute, Cotton Candy Boobs? Is this really gonna happen?
Hello.
Oh, yay! I can hear you. Okay. Can you guys hear her? Her beautiful, beautiful voice. Hi, little dove. We're doing okay. Zena, hey, hey. Lip lock. So, Cotton Candy Boobs, you texted me and you said, set up a show. I got shit to say, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So let's just like jump right into it because I think people are dying to hear what you had to say. So I'm minding my business. I get a text from you. What prompted you to say, let's go off today?
Because I was pissed.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to tell a little story. About 2 years ago on here, I was really, really close to another creator in another community. We were like really good friends for a whole solid year. She knew everything about me, everything. I was in a domestic violence situation, and they had recordings that I shared personally with him.
Oh,
Sorry, I gotta stop. Tammy Barnes, hey love, I miss you. We've been watching Cher's very first lives, and their very first lives is whenever you were going on panel with her on Summer. Oh my god, I love you. How are you? I miss you. Oh my god, it's so good to see you. I love you. I hope you're good. Aw. Yeah, because we were going over them, and you've been in a few of them, and it's made me miss you even more. All right, I want to play this, but I'm in chat. I love you, Tammy. Nikki Tupo.
yeah.
okay, I want to tell a little story. About 2 years ago on here, I was really, really close to another creator in another community. We were like really good friends for a whole solid year. She knew everything about me, everything. I was in a domestic violence situation, and they had recordings that I shared personally with them.
Oh,
This creator gets mad at me and all of her mods. She plays my domestic violence videos on YouTube.
no. Even I didn't know
She
that.
she doxed where I worked, my full
Oh.
government name, all because she was mad.
Wow.
Okay, then I'm scrolling on YouTube and I see something about my friend Jay.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I read it.
Mm-hmm.
Molly Golightly shared it. The first one.
Of course.
You get to the bottom of this article, and what's it doing? It's exploiting a domestic violence victim.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see people sharing it, getting their rocks off
Right.
over another woman's pain.
Yep. And they can say, "Oh, I didn't read that all they want." Well, then that's a problem. If you as a
You
creator
should
are
read
going
it
to
before
share,
you share anything.
exactly, because all of you guys, well,
Fucking
not all you guys.
hypocrites.
Yep. You helped pass around and re-victimize
Sharon,
another woman.
you all were helping exploit a domestic violence victim. Do you know how dangerous that is?
Mm-hmm.
Any fucking clue how dangerous that is? I know what that feels like because I went through it.
Yeah. And using that as an excuse, you didn't read it. We're not accepting
You
that, you
should
guys,
read
as an
it.
excuse. You as
No,
creators shared that. That's not an excuse. And you can't just sit
the
back
same
and
people
apologize
that
now.
bashed me and bullied me because I wanted
That's
a fucking
terrible.
community tab.
Yep. Yeah.
And they're the ones running around here. Oh, everybody needs to get along. Peace, peace. Shove that
Right.
piece up your ass.
They definitely do not practice what they preach at all. And you know who you are, one of you. But there's so many of you that shared in that. And whether you love or hate Jay's for Justice podcast is beside the freaking point that some of y'all shared that and re-victimized her. Let's just be woman to woman, mother to mother, some of y'all grandmothers to grandmothers, human to human for a minute, and realize you shouldn't hate somebody that much where you're okay that you are sharing around a private situation like that, for one, that's nobody's
shouldn't have
business
been
to
in
be
that
sharing
article to
around.
begin
It
with.
shouldn't have been. But there's people that want to hate Jay so much that they're okay with sharing that. And they're going to dog us now for not being okay with it. Watch, of course,
I'm
right?
not okay with it.
No,
I don't care who it is. I would have stood up for them because
that's
I'm very passionate about
unacceptable.
this.
It's unacceptable. We shouldn't be allowing this. This is the shit that we're talking about, you guys, that we need to do
It's
better
dangerous.
in the community. It's dangerous.
What if her abuser seen that on YouTube and people
Exactly.
talking about it? He
Yep.
could go home and beat the shit out of her over that. Do y'all not
Exactly.
realize that?
Yep.
Do y'all not realize
Exactly.
what a trauma bond and having an abusive, narcissistic piece of shit old man? If you've never been through it, then you don't know it.
Yeah. And I want better. And you know, Nicolina.
Jay deserves some fucking apologies.
Oh yeah. Look at you guys got my cotton
Y'all have
candy
no
boobs
idea what that
pits.
woman goes through. Jay's
No
my
idea.
friend.
Yeah, Jay is our friend in
I've
real
cried
life, you
over
guys.
this because I couldn't imagine what she's going through.
Right.
And none of you motherfuckers knows what she's going through, and you want to laugh at her pain?
Right. No
really?
clue.
Come on, man. We got to do better. Women tearing women down. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. It's disgusting. It's really, really disgusting. And we want to be taken as credible people on our platforms. I know we all do. I want to be credible on my platform. Nicolina wants to be credible. Squid, like everybody who has a platform doesn't come on here and say, hey, I don't want people to take me seriously, especially not when you're trying to research and find answers in very serious cases, guys. We have to want to do better than that. And we should all be embarrassed and ashamed for doing something like that and putting another, again, a lot of us are females here. There's a few males, but human to human, not even, let's throw woman to woman out the window, but human to human, we should want a lot better than that. That is disgusting. And look at her first live and look how freaking upset she is.
I could not say nothing.
And Jay has told me for a long time, don't fight my fights for me. Don't go and talk about it. Don't go off on this for me, because the less people that are talking about it, the better, right? And I'm sitting here for like months. She has just been like, no, Cher, please don't. And I'm like, okay, I understand where she's coming from. But no, then when Cotton Candy Boobs texts me and I'm talking to Tammy Barnes and some of y'all privately who are all so upset, and Jen, all totally upset and feeling the pain for her, we couldn't just sit back no more. And Lana, you dumb bitch, you want to seriously be taken credible when you try to help fight cases from a goddamn strip club? The fuck out of here with that.
And fucking
you wanted to BJ so bad, right? Exactly.
Makes videos on Shanae.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
A horrible fucking human. All of you. Whenever you get your fucking rocks off on another woman's pain or another human's pain, period, come on.
Nicolina, no. And you know what? And thank you for like acknowledging that it's wrong. It's different. There's some people
Nicolina.
out there, Nicolina, that are just like,
love
they don't care.
Nicolina.
Yeah, they're sharing it to be nasty,
To hurt
you know,
her.
so it's different. Yeah, and they
Jay
they
don't
think it's
bother
funny.
nobody.
Yep, they think it's
stays in
funny,
her
and it's
lane.
not. She
If
really
any
has
of you
been.
creators out there could get this copyright suit against you at any
Oh,
time,
Mhm.
who would have
Everyone
thought
should be worried
that
about that,
that would happen to Jay? Who would have fucking thought?
right?
It could be any of you, and
It
you're
could
getting
be.
pleasure out of it. Oh, you're on your own on this one, Jay. Fuck y'all. She
No.
don't need y'all. She's got real people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, Jay, for talking about it. I love you, girl, if you're listening.
Yeah, we can't bite our tongues anymore because
You know, I've
we
been
love
on
you
here
and we
3
want you
years,
to know
and
you have
I've
support,
never come on a panel.
right?
Never.
Yep. And every creator sharing that, they should be worried, because let me tell you, where's the line then for being able to, and for the Gabby Petito case at that, it was social media that helped in that case. Not only
Man,
that,
I was
Jay
always
has
in the
actually
case.
helped in other cases. You know, the Heidi Broussard case, Jay actually did help. And it was her show and her live stream that actually did get a big freaking lead in that case, and was able to find out that there was actually a baby registry at that house, where they ended up finding, by the way. Do you remember that case? Yeah, look into that. That's probably why they hate her so much. She's been on Dateline. She's been on these things because actually her platform did help in a case, and it leads in a case, very important ones. You know,
Jay does her
shame
own
on
thing, and
Molly Golightly too, by the way, who pretended to be her
Yes.
friend. Lana, who pretended
she's
to
the
be
one
her
that
friend.
started this shit.
Exactly. Yes.
She was the
who-
very first one, and everybody piggybacked off of her.
It's disgusting. Molly
Come
should really
on.
be ashamed of herself, the way that she drags and talks about women and, oh, they need plastic surgery, da 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 da. Molly should really take a big look in the mirror at her damn self, the way that she treats people. Because yeah, you're gonna have nobody in real life.
Yeah, I'm done with Molly. I used to have a love-hate for her. Now I ain't even
Right.
got that for her. I ain't got nothing. After I
No.
seen what she done to Jay this time, nope. Whenever you want to exploit a domestic violence victim or survivor,
Yep.
you're sick.
Yep. It was beyond disturbing. And yeah, it was hard for Cotton Candy Boobs to bite her tongue until we had this show plan, which you texted me on Friday or Saturday. So we've
Right
been,
when it happened.
yep. Hey, Vikings Paranormal. Welcome. Sorry, this is a real hot show, because we really do love Jay. Jay has been a huge, not just a help and mentor to me for my platform, but an actual real friend behind the scenes. Forget YouTube bullshit for a minute, but someone I can go to when I'm having very personal issues in life, and I can go to her, and guess what? It doesn't end up blasted all over social media or used against me on live streams to bash me publicly. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna mute for a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. Woo. Deep breaths, girl. Deep breaths.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yeah. We do. We need it's and you guys can see it too on her channel. You guys can see that she disappears just like I do. Or bringing people's kids into it. And what do you think that does too? Sharing shit like that around. And she has children that are older that, like my children, they like to pop up. Look, at the beginning of a stream, they like to pop up and say hi. My kids are my number one fans, very much supportive of this, and wants me to do well with my platform. Same for Jay, passing shit around like that, woman to woman, human to human. Would you all want your children seeing stuff like that about you being passed around? A lot of y'all have children. You're going to tell me that they don't at all want to pop in and see what mom or dad or auntie or grandma is doing? And yeah, and I for a straight year dragged Jay is for Justice before this was back in dealing with Chris Watts' case. And I was believing what people were just telling me of her. And you guys know, I go off and I defend people. And it turns out it was all wrong. I was given lies from other really big creators about her. And got to know the real Jay is for Justice, which I invite people to do before just you're going to pass around articles and content on one another. You should at least get to know these people privately before you do things like that, because it would amaze you the people that you actually truly end up having a lot in common with. I left a comment apologizing, man. I feel horribly. Thank you, Nicolina. But that's where it's different. You know, there's going to be people, you're going to see it. This live is going to get bashed. We're going to get dragged for this. We're defending our friend, and that's okay. We're willing to take that, you know, because she is our friend. But there's not going to be people like you, Nicolina, that feel like they should apologize. They're just going to, for whatever purpose, think that it's still okay, and they have that hate for her that bad. Now, the article that was going around has been edited by the use the term very loosely, but by the journalist, because they know that they were dead ass wrong, and they know that they can in return face a countersuit that's not going to be so good. Trust me. And a lot of us saw it and have it documented, even though they dirty deleted it now. But
oh yeah, we got it all.
Yeah,
we
have
got
it
the
all.
ones that was talking about it and laughing at her, the ones that posted it, shared it, deleted it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We all should want this to be a very serious community. We should all want to be taken seriously. And if you hate somebody that much, stop fucking watching them. Don't have nothing to do with them. Stop it. Go about and spend your time and energy on something useful for the community, for these missing children and adults and people that need us, people that would be begging for the amount of energy and time and effort that is being put on Chris Watts, Summer Wells, Monkey Vaughn, and on these other cases. We have parents and families that are out here begging for us to give their loved ones attention. What the hell are we doing with our time and energy? Because it's not what I signed up for, to be a part of a true crime community and putting our heads together. Instead, we're tearing each other apart. We all want to be a freaking detective in our own right. So we're digging into each other's real lives and going real life. And we're putting each other's loved ones, children, mothers, each other's grandmothers, grandfathers at risk over a fucking YouTube platform that I came on here to help families, to help bring awareness and bring attention to these cases and to help these people get proper justice. Wrongful charges on people in prison who don't deserve that. That's what I came into this community wanting, not tearing each other down. I don't want to know what kind of toilet paper Nicolina wipes her ass with. I don't want to know freaking all this personal life on each other. I don't care. I don't give a shit how much this person's making on their channel or platform. What I care about is us coming together, using our time, our effort, our sleuthing skills so that we can be taken damn seriously and help. That's what I signed up for. Not watching people that I become friends with get so much depression and anxiety that they want to throw their freaking platforms away that have been helpful, that have been useful, that has helped bring justice in cases. The fuck out of here, you guys. We should all be ashamed of ourselves. Thank you, Nicolina. I appreciate that. Thank you for explaining what was. Sometimes we all need to look in the mirror and have a awakening. We have to look deep within ourselves. Sometimes we get lost. I get lost. It happens. So Cotton Candy Boobs and I we wanted to do this as a wake up call and tough love. Wake up. Can we make this community a great thing again? Can we one day be something where law enforcement can take us as credible and reliable sources to help? Isn't that what you all want? Be honest, please. Put a 1 in the chat if that's not something that you guys would be proud of. 1 in the chat if that's not something that you thought that we were all going to try to do and be a part of in this true crime community. Isn't that what we all wanted? Anyone that wants any different and doesn't put a 1 in the chat should really unsubscribe from this channel, because it's not what I signed up for, to be anything but that. Thank you, Liz. Tough love. Yes, it's time that we all look at yourself in the mirror and do better. I hear so many people and see so many people complaining about the community and wanting better. So start that damn change. I know my platform has. We certainly have. My team behind me wants better, and they are going to be doing better because they are now offered this platform as their own. And we are going to be a team and do better all together. And I hope everybody follows lead. Forget that maybe Molly Golightly hates me or she hates Jay. What the fuck ever. We should not be hating these families, these children that are missing and murdered. We need to do better for all of them. Cotton joining late. I don't know what happened, but apologies that you have had bad issues. White flag respect means so much. I support a lot of creators. Yes, you do, Bet Girl. Thank you so much. And yes, you are very respected in this community. Absolutely. And I want everybody to have that respect. I am going to be demanding that around this platform. I know that. I want that respect, and I want everybody to have that respect.
Is Nicolina still here?
I think so. I'm not 100%. What's up? And thank
I
you,
was just
Nicolina and
there she
Liz
is.
and Bet Girl. Thank you for the super stickers.
Like Nicolina, for example, people want to talk shit about her. Look what she just did and she owned up to.
Yes. Yeah.
People can say whatever they want about Nicolina. She's a good person.
I will say that Nicolina is one that
I'm tired of people really treating her like shit too. Maybe if they'd watch her, they'll get to know her a little bit.
Nicolina, I hope that you would reach out to Jay privately. Don't just listen. Maybe one of your friends maybe don't like Jay. That's okay. I'll ask you to privately reach out to her and chat with her, because I really do think that you two would actually get along. I really adore both of you, but you are one, I'm not going to lie. You are one that it did kind of hit her hard. She was like, well, why, she was a little, she did. And if you would reach out to her,
like, privately, I never done nothing to her.
Yeah. I do think that and Cotton Candy Boobs probably agree. There's something about you two that I could totally see hitting it off if you would email her and just chat with her
good people.
privately. Yeah, absolutely. But you guys, that's another thing is yeah, we have to want better for ourselves and each other, for this community to be taken as credible and seriously. And I want us all to go. There is room for all of us, you guys. It doesn't have to be cutthroat. There is room for all of us. There's people that want to hear what all of us say. And a lot of our subscribers subscribe to all of us. We don't have to be tearing each other down. We really, we don't. And I am very much a girl power. There is certain women that just don't deserve that trust, right? But I, for the most part, want to lift up other females. And there is a few guys in the community. We should all want to help each other, uplift each other, because if we can do that for each other, only then can we be helpful to a case. Because we are helping in misinformation. We are helping in chaos and stupid things being reported, and then calling on each other and going real life on each other. And Bet Girl, you should be blue. I'm sorry. I am going to give you back your wrench. Okay. But yes, we need to absolutely be doing this with each other for us to be able to do well in cases. Hey, Gonzo. Oh, you said that perfectly as usual. But yes, okay, I'm losing my voice. We need to all do better. We all need to work together, put our heads together. We do not have to agree with 100% of what each other is saying. That is okay. But we cannot be helping no little girl come home if we cannot even get along and put our heads together and be grown ass adults with common sense, people. As Betty would say, well, I mean, right? And what do you think? Cotton Candy Boob's first live, and she came in like a wrecking ball, right? Which I think is very powerful, by the way. Right, Lips, the hate, the doxing. We have to do better. So hopefully this tough love, like Cotton Candy Boobs and I, we really love everybody. Tammy Barnes, another sister of mine. The family you choose by heart is the best. Zena, why are you not blue?
Because you took everybody's wrenches.
I did. I took everybody's wrenches, and will be, yes. So in time, I will have my team. But yeah, we are absolutely keeping the circle small, because as you guys know as well, I will be giving incentives to the team, and they will, from now on, we will be doing hot topics where my mods are co-hosts. You guys are the team. You guys are welcome up here to be a part of this. I consider this y'all's platform too. Voices Behind the Wall. When I started this, the name is, of course, I'm crazy. I have all kinds of voices that I talk to myself. I tell myself all these things. I flip-flop all of your guys' voices. We are all survivors of something, right? All of our voices matter. We should all be able to take our our journeys in life and come together and use that to help these missing children and adults, these family members that have loved ones that maybe have wrongful charges and convictions. There's, so Trulia, we love you. Yes, you missed the meeting too, but that's okay. That's okay. Mama Kim, I love you. It's good to see you. Yes, I wouldn't have this platform without Unjustified, Tammy Barnes, Dalen, my husband, Cotton Candy Boobs, Chatty Jen, all of you guys. Some of you guys have been with me since the very start, like Mama Kim, Catalin, Tammy Barnes. So yeah, we are going to be setting forth the change, and not gonna lie, I make mistakes. I'm not always proud of my behavior on my shows. I end these streams sometimes and I tell Mark, like, I'm not proud of that, and I think that's okay. But I think that is also the difference. We have to all be willing to do that and say, you know what? I am not perfect. I make mistakes. I did help in some misinformation, even by an accident. You have to then go in and correct that. Maybe I don't like something Molly Golightly put out yesterday, but maybe I like something she put out today or whatever. Maybe it's not so much bashing each other anymore. Stop it. I will always defend people, though, and the underdog. I will. And if that means once in a while I've got to rattle the cage of some people, then I will do that, of course. But, this right now, our community is nothing but creator on creator hate. It is criminal, actually, some of the things going on, and it needs to stop. I want this community to be something where I can say, yes, I want to be proud of being a part of the true crime community on YouTube. I want to be proud of that, not embarrassed. I want to one day know that we all of us together, not, oh, Molly Golightly did this. Oh, Justice for All was the first to do this. Oh, Cher did this first. Oh, this first. Fuck all of that. I want to hear in the media one day, the YouTube community helped with justice and helped bring a little girl home. That's what I want. The YouTube community to be taken seriously. All of us. That's what I want. Zena, welcome back to the Crazy Train. I think that you were a part of it before, but welcome. Choo choo. Thank you so much, Miss Robin. Welcome to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. Thank you so much for becoming a member. Zena, choo choo. Thank you so much. And there was one more. Shyla, welcome to the Crazy Train. Choo choo. And Vet Girl, thank you again for that cotton. If someone will not apologize to you, I have been chatting with you for a year. I respect and value you as a person. That's exactly it. We need to have some respect for each other, but we also have to earn that respect from each other. And Nicolina, I will be, if you could reach out, I'll talk to you privately. Do I have your phone number, Nicolina? Can you please email me a way to, or your Facebook? I don't remember if I have it, but anyways, yes, I'd like to talk to you privately. Yes, and I hope you reach out to Jay. Hey, Jackson, ironically, I have an unfinished song called Mess With Me. Oh, I'd like to hear that. I'm so tired of being told that anyone simply pointing out someone else's bad behavior is bullying. Exactly, Squids, it's not. But you can't come on here and then act and have the behavior that a lot of us have had and then not expect to have something said about it. 100%. Oh, Nicolina, I love you. Thank you. I so much appreciate that. And she's going to appreciate that. I know it. And that just says so much about your character. Thank you. Awesome. I knew I liked you. You see? And by the way, me and Cotton Candy Boobs being bashed for being in Bullhorn Betty chats, by the way, not gonna fucking fly. We don't really give a shit. I can't wait to sit down and have a one-on-one with her. Because again, and Nicolina, I would love to interview you. That's another thing. Everyone knows I love to interview. And I want to sit down with creators and really, really interview them and do a really good one-on-one with them. A lot of you know I've done that with some people, and you guys see the creators differently a lot of times after I have these sit-downs with them. I think that would be very helpful as well, Nicolina. So yeah, and lips, another one. I think a lot of people are misunderstood. So I for sure will be nagging a lot of you creators from all dip. Doesn't matter what you do on your channel. I want to have a one-on-one with you and get to know you. I think that's also super helpful in the community if we all can just do that. Everyone gets that moment to tell their journey. And that's another reason I've started my platform. I feel very privileged when you guys tell me the journeys you've been through in your life. I really, really love that a lot. It doesn't matter what you've done in your life. I love to learn about it because everybody has a story and a journey. And I absolutely think that it would be useful in the community to all get to know each other and even have empathy. It will humanize each other to each other, right? And I think that's kind of a little bit what's lacking we need to be humanized to each other, respect each other as fellow human beings with feelings, and have empathy for one another. I got that, Jackson. Thank you. I'll check it out after this. It does seem to be a pattern. Absolutely. Oh, let's see here. Who is that? Northern Farm Girl. Thank you. Yes. And again, my team, they all have now, they're going to be treating this platform as if it's their own. They are going to be welcomed up here for shows, asking questions as well. I'm going to be interviewing them as well. They're going to really be helping, which I hope other creators do with their, I don't like to just call you guys mods. You're not going to be called that here. You are now team members of Voices Behind the Wall. You are a part of this platform now. I think that matters too. Taking care of our team members and really making them a part of it is helpful as well. So like I said, when YouTube pays me, you guys go about and make sure you're deleting nasty comments. We will have our mod meetings and we will delete people that we all agree should just be deleted, but it's going to be really a team, more family group doing here so that we can be the change that I'm asking and craving to see. I think all of us are now. So I think it's a really good time for everyone to be taking a look at their platform and taking a look at your platforms and the team you're going to surround yourself with. So we will be doing fun stuff with our team. We'll be having team meetings. We'll be doing prizes and giveaways for our team, and as well as actually, you guys have all told me privately you wouldn't accept the $50 from me, which is fine. What I would end up doing then is donating a certain amount each month from what I get paid from YouTube and donating it in the name of the team. So that gives you guys all incentive too, where each month you guys will get together and all agree on an organization that we make a donation to, which I think is an awesome idea as well. So I certainly appreciate all of you guys because I know I'm very controversial platform. So I do appreciate the team that I have that is willing to put forth these changes and the change and help build this community. Fuck it. We're going to say we're going to build this, not me, not just Cotton Candy Boobs, all of us, Nicolina, Trulia Beach, Squids, Molly Go Lightly, me, Jade is for Justice, Prairie Boy, the White Rabbit, Unjustified, Tammy Barnes, all of us together. I want this community to be something we can all be proud of so that law enforcement can take us seriously. Northern Farm Girl, thank you. Oh my gosh, that girl, thank you. Your team, be well. Thank you for always supporting and respecting creators I support. Thank you so much. Wow, that girl, you are awesome. And I see you everywhere. And that's exactly a good proof right there. You go and you support everybody. You don't give a shit. And nobody's going to dare say something to you because you do be super chatting everybody. You have a white flag out. Killer looks another. They really, that's what we have to be, you guys. Stop dragging each other down. Now, if, let's say Molly Go Lightly or checking convictions, wants to go and put out lies and shit, yeah, I'm probably going to bump their ass once in a while, but consider it tough love. But we will not be doing that all the time now. We got to stop the creator on creator. So yeah, it's going to be different from here on out. And I hope that others follow the lead. I actually really enjoyed our team meeting. We didn't have everyone, but I do think it will be helpful. And I hope other creators do it as well. So what do you think, Cotton Candy Boobs? What am I missing? I kind of started talking over.
I think we got it all.
Anything else that you want to cover?
No.
Just be kind and come together. Exactly. How do you feel about me sharing the link in opening panel for a little bit?
You can do that.
Yeah. You guys are going to be welcome. We'll Cotton Candy Boobs and I, we're going to open up the panel here. And yeah, we're going to be doing the hot topics at least every other day. And it's going to be open for the team members are all going to be welcome to be a part of that. So I pay for my StreamYards. So we can fit, I think, 10 people at once up here. Let me paste. Okay, there's the link if anyone would like to join us up here. If you guys have something that you want to get out there and get off of your chest as well and add to this so that we can leave today's show refreshed and all wanting to put forth a change. Nicolina, hey boo.
Give me just a second. Let me put my headphones in since I'm hearing impaired and StreamYard is horrible.
It is. Okay, so it's not for just me.
All right.
Yes, please, sure. Focus on doing deep dives. We all need, we all will be. We got to make the community great again.
Okay. First of all, thank you for this tough love session.
Of course. Yes.
I don't know a lot about JS for Justice. I was more or less like, oh, I assumed she was stealing serious content. It looked like the article was legit. So tell me that was not really like MSNBC.
Yeah, but so it's if you want to, so it's a legit article. Yeah. They've since edited that article because they had no business writing some of that. And really, it should be kind of scary for a lot of creators because they all played. I've seen many people playing the Gabby Petito footage, the manhunt, it's no different. Yeah. And we all did a lot of that with the the Johnny Depp trial as well. We were all day streaming that, or the fair use streaming. So
well, and I did find the mentioning of the DV stuff in that article was very in poor taste.
Yeah.
am human. And I just really feel horribly. It's hard to fact check lips when you
Yeah.
don't know what's true and what isn't,
Right.
especially with mainstream media. But who's tapping in the background?
Oh, that's me. Sorry. Whoops.
Oh,
I'm
I can hear
stirring
that
my
in my
icy. Sorry.
No, you're okay. No, I know that a lot of us get caught up in day-to-day fuckery, and I did not realize that that article, it was punitive and it was being done intentionally, and I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
so therefore I am guilty for just making the assumption that it was factual.
Mm.
And is she okay?
She'll tell people she's okay, but as her friend, no, cotton candy boobs, and I can tell you no. And she'll probably say, "Why the fuck did you say that?" But no, like, how could she be, right? Yeah, no, she's not.
You know, and I just, I'm not here for true crime, but I do feel like some of the things that people bring to the table is very good information. I know that law enforcement seems to believe that they are the be all end all, which we know that is not true. We know they make mistakes. We know that they don't have the same ability as some people to really dive deep and look at things from a different angle. And I think you're right. Changing things so that you're taken more seriously is important.
Yeah.
And so again, I want to say I'm going to feel guilty about this for days. And I'm very sorry. Jay, if you're listening,
you're human. So that I really appreciate you. Thank you.
I am human, but I'm also, I go by cunt. And there are times that I am cuntalina. But I do love all victims, men or female, like they need to be helped unless they are actual perpetrators themselves that, you know who I'm on all the time. So that'll never change.
No, but again, some of it is very different, and they do open themselves up for exactly what they're getting.
And a lot of you that don't know me, I did go through a insanely abusive marriage. And I didn't know what narcissism was. I didn't know what being gaslit meant. You know what I'm saying? And it just got worse and worse and worse. And that is part of me is hardened to feeling certain emotions because that's the way I protect my soul.
Yeah.
And that gets in the way
makes
sometimes.
you jaded to it all.
It does. And when it was mentioned the trauma bonding, I was just got home from work, stopped in my tracks and oh, holy shit. I completely understand trauma bonding. And I'm going to start crying, so I'm going to get off here. But
I love you. Thank you so much. And
thank you for having that the tough love conversation out here, because sometimes people like myself need to hear it. So right. I love you, ladies.
Thank you. Love you too. Thank you for reaching out to her.
Yep.
Bye. You see, you guys, this is we can be human to each other. It is okay, and I know everyone wants to be tough and protective of themselves. It's understandable, but sometimes we are crossing the lines ourselves. Me too. I'm at fault as well. And we then get to where we are crossing that fine line of we then become the bully, and it's not okay. So yeah, I think what do you think, Sis? Do you have anything else to add for today, or she ran after her dogs, I think, huh? Yes, absolutely. I appreciate that, Nicolina. I do. Julia Beach, hope you're having a good day at work.
I'm back.
You're back? Okay. Yeah, so yeah, be
Just
watching.
do better.
Yeah, do better. Do better and be watching, because Cotton Candy Boobs and I are going to have Jay on for a sit down, and you're going to I know the first interview that I've done with her, which after I end this, I'm going to premiere the very first interview that I have done with Jays for Justice. So I think it'll be a good place. Good place to start. And then
okay, I'm going to stop it there. But I just thought anybody listening, this might be a good message to put out about you just never know. And it's the fucking internet, Hey, Marty, Dawn's been sending messages to Mary tonight. She needs to call the law. Hopefully she did call the police, right? I mean, yeah, I like Nicolina. I do. Always have. She's kind of an OG in the summer, when summer first started. I don't agree with a lot she does, and that's okay, but I'm not going to trash her. And I know if I needed a friend, she'd be there too, Oh, wow. Yeah, thanks for letting us know that. That's crazy. I don't want to get sidetracked on what I'm doing here, and I'm going to continue. Let's see what we can play next. Oh, thank you, HP. I'm gonna start calling you HP. Fairy Floss, I'm gonna start calling you FF. Maybe I should start calling you Sonia in chat when I greet you. Then FF when I don't know, something so people know who I'm talking to. So every time we have to specify. Or just put it out in like parentheses beside your name, like I've been suggesting. All right, let's see what else we can find here. But yeah, this just needed, it had nothing to do with this live, but it needed to be played, I believe. You think I have a strong accent? See, I don't. Do I sound cornbread? Oh, okay, that's a good one there. Yes, very fun. And call you Sonia. It's hard to change habits. Hey, Miss Justice 1111, how are you? Cornbread Mafia, yeah. Cornbread, going to a cornbread. Hey, it's okay if I used to be more country, like my accent, I think, or maybe I'm just thinking that, but like where I work so much in New York and the northern states, and I worked out west some and in California, I lost a little bit of my accent. I really have. I think I used to be more cornbread. Aw, HB. You're Cajun, Tammy, baby. I love your accent too. You're on the border of Kentucky and Tennessee. I grew up in South Central Tennessee. Not Tennessee, Kentucky. South Central Kentucky. The south of Kentucky. Yeah, I love Aussie accents. I just very false. Sonia. Love you too, Tammy Barnes. All right, let's do this raw squirrel off. We can look at it together to see what we're gonna watch next here. Oh, well, I'll wait through them again. I scrolled off on that, but that was a good message. I knew what that was about. Fucking Jody Sue. I can't watch that one, y'all. I don't know if I could watch live she's done on Jody Sue. I can't handle her. Even on 2 times speed, she still annoys me. That's the only way I have to. Where is it? I know where I need to go here. Okay, here we are. Here's the ones we've been watching. Okay, it says roundtable meeting number 1. Oh, there's you on there, Tammy. Benny. Okay, we'll watch it. It seems interesting. I like when
This
people
Black
chit chat.
Friday, get peak.
Sorry, I don't have YouTube Premium anymore. I'm trying to save and buy me a little workplace for my little business and stuff. And I've canceled memberships and all kinds of stuff. So sorry for the ads now, but yeah, I had to tighten up.
Peacock for $1.99. That's right, just $1.99.
It's up to you, Tammy. I mean, it's totally up to you. I feel bad you looked into it, and then yeah, it's totally up to you.
No, we don't have
Hello,
to. It's up to
everybody.
you. I got the information. If you want to wait, you can wait. It's up to you.
Hi, guys.
Hey, everybody. We got Mama Kim, who's going to join us too. A couple other people that will pop up here. But right now we got Benny. And as always, my sisters, Tammy and Nellie, and Mr.
Hold on. I gotta see something. I missed a comment. High Priestess says she wished she had a UK accent. I probably wouldn't like you if you had a UK accent, High Priestess. Only very few will get that. I used to love the British accent, but no, I can't stand it anymore. It's triggering to me. Okay, we're gonna carry on.
Cher.
Hello.
Just had a bird
Hello,
fly right in front
everyone.
of my face. That's awesome. You guys, I've given a few of you wrenches. If you do not want to wrench for my channel, just let me know. I will take that back. It's just that I've needed a few more helpers with everything.
Yes.
Right away, I'll just say, though, mods, you already know, same rules. I want questions. That's good. Don doesn't mind that. Don doesn't mind people having opposing opinions. He's fine with that. He knows how things look. Just come with respect is what we ask. But if you're coming in being an asshole, you're not going to get any answers from us. You're going to be blocked right away. This isn't the place for you if you are going to incriminate the family. We aren't talking about his kids here. Those comments will be kicked out right away. They're the only thing we can say, the boys are in a safe place. They're well. That's it. We will not tolerate talking. We don't dwell on the whole essay side of things here, and at least like for sure tonight, it has nothing to do with helping find Summer, so we don't dwell on that. If you're coming in here to call him a sex offender or whatever, also you're going to be gone. This is a place for everyone to come together. We can't find Summer or help this family bring Summer home if we're just being nasty for no reason. So Mod, I'm sorry you got your job cut out for you, but if they're being assholes, they just got to go, and definitely no incriminating of anything or no talk about the boys, and we should be good. Well, you guys, where should we start? Benny, you got what do you got to say?
I just have been a little bit put off by this sort of passing of the baton from the focus on Summer to Don and the essay. This is the formula. This is the template in which it goes. And it's about the time that we overload law enforcement with tips. They come off the search. And then we turn our focus on things that essentially have, nothing to do at all with finding poor Summer. And so I've just been a little bit dismayed all day by that. I'm just, it's like a kid waking up for Christmas. You're excited and you're like, oh God, it's not, it hasn't changed. It's the same.
Yeah. There's definitely other avenues to be exploring other than just the one.
Absolutely. And I thank you guys for having me on.
Oh, of course. It's good that to see the people that are coming together for the family, not just like let's incriminate. I know you have just gotten mad hate also, Ben.
Oh boy.
It's just it's wild. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I've gotten the worst kind. CPS after CPS. I've had the FBI at my house. It's really real. This stuff is really real. So
yeah, you showed me screenshots of paperwork, and I just cannot believe what people are doing. What YouTube, when it's affecting your real life like that, because you are trying, like you're doing good, you're supporting somebody, you're advocating for somebody, and they're going to attack you. Like, it's unbelievable.
And that's where the joke is really on them. When the CPS worker comes, we have just a dedicated one to just us. And they don't come when they get one call. They wait till they get 5 or 6 in the batch, and then they come see us and say, hey, look, this is what we got. And, we'll close it out as soon as we can. So, I just, anybody that wants to have a voice, unfortunately, if you go against the narrative and you call any of these people less than what their mother calls them, they're going to have the police and CPS at your doorstep. That's just the way it is.
How about that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have Benny's channel link? People are asking
who
that is.
Yeah, let me find it. And I'll add it to the description also. Tonight, in a little while, we'll show, just for shits and giggles, guys. It's dark, but Don sent me a video, that infamous shed that Chris said he was hiding in. He shot me a little 40-second video. It's funny. He actually tried to get Candace apparently to go in and like jump out and scare us for the video. It's dark. It's just to make people laugh later. But tomorrow we'll have videos going around. Like I said, he's going to retrace his steps from June 15th of coming home, where he all looked for before going up the house, because I feel like what he did makes a whole lot of sense. Like, he thought the house and all that was already searched. So of course, if I'm driving home and I'm a country girl, right, I would absolutely search where I know my boys are on their dirt bikes and like my kids riding bikes. I would definitely do the same thing. And I just, maybe it's city folk who find this hard to understand. I don't know, but I think what he did was right. Like, I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But we're going to have him retrace his steps and reenact that, poor guy. And he's more than willing to do that. And it's really a shame he has to. And then he's also going to take us through a tour of the shed that's at the bottom of the property there, where some people are saying he hid Summer's body or whatnot. So we'll have all that loaded tomorrow, as well as we have all talked as like, I don't know what you want to call us, a unit, a team at this point. Tammy, me, Nellie, Benny, Mama Kim will be here soon, Mr. Cher, the people who have really rallied behind what I'm going to say is victims. Sometimes, like, we're human. We've gotten lots of comments. Yes, we read a comment, or Mr. Cher made a comment making fun of a certain person's lisp, whatever, that was low. I've gotten heated. You've seen postings from Mr. Don getting upset and whatever, but I have to remind people we're humans and we are under attack like crazy. Sometimes we're going to lash out, you guys, I think, like, I mean, we're only human, but we've all talked. We are really going to try our best, because Don even texted me. He's like, I know I should do better. It's just sometimes I get so angry. And I'm like, you know what? We all do. We all get angry for you. So I can't imagine being him and feeling like that. But yeah, we've all talked as like a team unit, and we're going to try our best to be better than that.
Yeah, we don't need to be disrespectful to get our point across.
Yeah. Because let me tell you, we got a lot of stuff that we've been getting, and yeah, we don't have to. Between me, Mr. Cher, Benny, everybody, we've gotten a lot of people have come forward, and we don't have to stoop to the low levels as ex-cops have been.
Can you ask him how many times cadaver dogs have been up there? I'm not sure people understand. They're 95% accurate. As far as I know, they didn't have cadaver dogs up there at all. They did have bloodhounds to check for Summer's scent, but as far as I know, that's all. I could be wrong.
Right. Also, I don't know the specific numbers, but I know that an animal is it's not a robot. So, a dog is susceptible to have a bad day too. And we've seen with since the inception of cadaver dogs that they are notoriously irregular. We've seen in LA, they're actually Dr. Arpad Voss. He was using his machine with a USA well-renowned dog handler, and they walked within 4 feet of remains, and the dog didn't smell it. So we're talking about active rotting remains. With the trace stuff, I think when you have a body, I think that the quantification goes way up because you're working from a live decomposing sample. But when you're trying to get trace, you're trying to track different things, the quantification goes way, way down, and then it's subject to all types of skews essentially.
Mm-hmm. Plus, if her body wasn't sitting in one place for long, it would make that exponentially harder for a dog to pick up.
Absolutely.
Growing up, she did it all, raised me and my brother while she went to school and worked full time. My mom.
But yeah, like I said, I don't even know if they had cadaver dogs up there or not.
Hey, Carly. I've been debating people like crazy. Thought I was alone in standing up for the Wells. Absolutely not. Wouldn't you rather stand up for this family and then if you're wrong, you'd be like, well, you still did the right thing. I've come to the conclusion I had to ask myself, what if we back this family, and what if it comes out our judgment is wrong, something comes out and one or both parents are guilty. And I've already told Mr. Cher, I honestly would still be there for them. I would. I can't really explain it, but I wouldn't turn my back on them. I would still give Don human person to talk to. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
A little bit. What's up, Graz?
Hey, Mama Kim.
Hello. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing tonight?
Hey, Mama Kim.
Hey, everyone.
I'm just on panel for support.
Chicken lady in the house. We love you around here, girl. She gets a wrench. Where's she at? I mean, you can't take too much more hate. You wrench for Alan, so it should be okay for me, right?
There's a lot of.
I've had a few people tell me, like, can you take my wrench, please? Like, I can't. It's like they tell me like some stupid professional thing. It's something about like an interest, something like that. I'm like, really? Okay, no problem.
You're modding for a YouTube channel. Don't get too excited.
I've had someone tell me that I need to take the wrench back too. It's just too heavy, they say.
That I can get. It's just too stressful. They just want to watch the show.
Yeah, I always say, like, sorry, you're working. You're working when you're on this one. So there's a rumor going around, and I was actually asked when I was in my friend Kelly's live for a minute. People were spreading the rumors that Don was arrested today, and it's absolutely not true. I last spoke to him at 7:40, and it's 8:15 now. So absolutely, Don Wells was not arrested at 4:30 this afternoon. Didn't happen. I just want to throw that out there. I don't know where people come up with this stuff, but
same thing with the Watts case saying.
Tammy, I'm starting at the beginning lives. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they still had the boys at this point. This was early. This was Cher, like 2 lives ago I done. Cher didn't even know how to say Benny's name really. That's how long they just became acquaintances and stuff, we're going back to the very, very beginning when Cher and them started covering it. Yep. I said, I've been watching them with you on there, love, and it made me miss you even more.
Old Boomhauer there. Ronnie was arrested. They I don't know how they call that stuff.
Justin, hey, handsome.
Money, that's what I'm all about. I want you to know that Don knows what I made last month on YouTube. Like, he knows. It's also, you can go to Social Blade and look it up. I don't make very much money. So I make less money because I get less subscribers and less views by backing the unpopular choice. Now, if I was on the bandwagon bashing this family, I'd actually get a whole lot more. If I was into the drama and bashing and jumping on the train. So don't come at me with it's the money and views that this is why I do it, because I go completely opposite, and I'm willing to risk channel suicide actually by some of the moves I make on it. So
Kudos.
It's just unbelievable, people.
Yeah, I make about $3 a day, y'all. I'm about to just retire over here.
Yeah, YouTube
diamonds
keeps
and furs.
45%. So
And I'm starting to.
Yeah,
I'm starting to
don't spend it all in one place.
I know. Kidding.
Don't put on lollipops.
I mean, I can show you. So anybody out there wants to see, I'd be more than happy to show you my $3 a day.
Well, you know, one of the things that I do, Sweetie, is I use I hate face crack, some people call it. I won't go there and try to, keep up a conversation with anyone or anything, but I use the groups to spread awareness. And that's, kind of the key that I found. I did it for so long without utilizing Instagram or Facebook and, TikTok. There are groups on all of these that are interested in all of it. So a lot of it just, I found that it's going to require you to open up more channels of social media. That's my opinion anyhow.
Yeah.
Oh, you are a mod already, Elizabeth. Okay. I was looking for Elizabeth to mod her, but she's already a mod. Well, Mama Kim, I've saw one of your videos today because you've been busy, but now that you have started kind of looking into this, I've been telling you some things. I got a whole lot to catch you up to speed with since now you're getting in on this. What are your thoughts and stuff? Like, what are you thinking now?
I mean, just to be flat honest, my theory, quote unquote, hasn't even changed since the beginning. It really hasn't. With the interviews that you guys have all done and stuff, it's filled in a lot of missing gaps. And I do appreciate y'all, going the extra mile and doing these, because I know it takes a lot of work, it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a hell of a lot of biting your tongue as well, which, I know this. But, my theory still hadn't changed. It really hasn't. And I'm very, I'm not even going to throw it out there. A lot of people already know what it is, but I'll tell you this. I don't think Dawn had nothing to do with it. I think, and I'm just being honest there, I never have thought Dawn had anything to do with it. And I still don't. And now I get his past may suck. Okay, whatever. There ain't nobody in here that don't have some sort of past. That's just the way it is. But you can't really, judge the past on what has happened at hand. And that's what everybody's doing. And I know I got it all over my comments. He admitted it. I know that, but I wasn't even talking about that in my video. I was referring to the things that the people on this channel was called RSOs. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, everyone that mods for me, anyone that's on my channel are apparently an RSO.
Yeah, I seen that.
Sorry,
please show me. R means registered. That means public. So show me.
Yo, Bubs, that's a good question. We haven't heard anything back yet.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then telling son-in-law to prove it. How in the hell are you supposed to prove something that there ain't no way to prove it if you didn't do it?
I know.
I mean, that don't even make no sense. It's like, okay, well, you got busted for shoplifting at Walmart. Okay, no, I didn't. Okay, prove to me you didn't. How in the hell does that make sense?
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Like, why not
ask
the guy who's saying it for proof that it's true?
Exactly.
Why believe him right off the gate and then come to me and say, well, you better prove that it's wrong? No.
You can prove something you didn't do, right?
Well, yeah.
Hope for Peace, thank you so much.
I put Cher put my full name and date of birth
You guys,
out there. So
he
if you
fell
want to check
asleep.
that, go ahead.
He fell asleep after work, and he was upset, but he was trying to act tough. I was also upset, so I think he was trying to make me feel better for being attacked. But he was also under attack, so he goes to sleep. And I was just so upset because that's the worst thing you can call a guy, right? And so I was just like, what the hell can I do? Like, I was just like, and I put all his information. He wakes up and I'm like, I'm sorry, baby. He goes, I understand. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to do.
You did the right thing because, I unfortunately, the very first case I worked on, I had no idea what ad hominem attack was. And, a criminalist friend of mine from the UK, I work with OSYNC, which is open source intelligence. Trace Labs is the more common name. But she just was like, you've got a lot of potential, but the thing that you have to do is you have to pick which side that you want to do it for. And then you have to know everything, right? You have to know the lingo, you have to know the laws. And really what's nice, guys, about what we do is it's cool to know all the details. If you're a detail oriented person, I am. But as a father of young children, I don't always have the time to dedicate to it. And fortunately, when you advocate for people, you don't need to know all the details. It's actually, we make better choices for people when asked to make choices. We make the better choice when we don't have all this crazy skewed info. And that's, that's where it's at is the crazy skewed info, and the fact that these ex-law enforcement guys, they're lumping two cases together and they know that the two are not related in any way, that they never will be.
Yep.
Are you listening yet? Melanie Martinez presents the Trilogy Tour, featuring songs from all 3 hit.
Yeah, and that's true, Beth. But it's kind of the rock and the hard place thing too. If the person goes on and says too much, they're looked at poorly. If they aren't saying anything, they're looked at poorly. So it really doesn't matter what he does.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I know that you said you weren't going to talk about the other one, but the one thing that I did want to mention about the other thing that we talked about backstage is that the terms of service for YouTube are that it's for entertainment purposes. And on the forum in which Don made that statement, it states that it's for entertainment purposes. So I'm not trying to diminish anything that a potential victim of Don's went through, but there is such a thing called secondary victimization. And when you put that into context, what you see is you see Don right now is just this crazy victimized individual. Young children don't do the things that they say he was doing. They don't look for other children to victimize. They only play out what's been done to them, right? So, you start looking at someone that offends in that way. Actually, the intelligent people can say, okay, well, he did this on the offender side, but why did he do this? He ultimately did this because he was a victim, right?
Thank you, Pink Ladybug.
There, there's so much victimization going on online, and it never ends, it never stops. And like I think Ms. Cher said earlier, or Ms. Tammy, our channels would be huge if we wanted to go on and join the coalition of bashers, right? That just defies logic to me. I can't understand it.
Mm-hmm. Well, in a few minutes, you guys, I'm actually going to read an email, and Mr. Cher and I got, I don't know if you want to, there was a tip called in about a week ago now by somebody's wife called him into TBI as a possible tip in the disappearance of Summer. And Don called on video call to have us on the phone for some support with that. And again, we see the emotions are real. Like, they were excited. They were full of hope. Like, oh my gosh, like, were they getting Summer? Was her daughter coming home? Like, we got to witness all of that. And people are like, well, they have no emotions, but it's just not true. We get to witness Candace on the verge of like a mental breakdown at her kitchen table where she can't even stop crying and hardly like breathing. Like, I can't even, it breaks my heart to see her like that, you guys. It's horrible. They absolutely have emotions. And we'll say, like, I don't know, give it like 5 minutes. I'm going to read an email because that person who called it in, she called in her own husband. Yeah, and he is oh my. This person was out of prison on parole only a month before Summer's disappearance.
Thanks, Montana.
And not only did the wife come forward and say everything, and we looked him up, we know the charges, but one of this guy's victims found me and emailed me what happened to her with this offender. And she said I could go ahead and share it. I'm just going to leave names out because, of course, this has been a tip. And obviously leaving her name out to protect her. But I am going to read that here in a few minutes for you guys. So you can see the kind of people that are the Wellses' neighbors, okay? Again, we're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. And with everything I've seen and the people coming forward to even just me alone and other people, I can't say without a reasonable doubt that they had anything to do with their daughter's disappearance. So.
To kind of piggyback on that individual that you were talking about, I'm very familiar with him as well. And I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mr. Dobbs. I'm sure everyone is at this point. Mr. Dobb, and actually, should I not be saying names, Mr. Cher?
Well, his name's been thrown about.
Yeah, it's been out there. Go ahead. I'm not going to say like names that are actually tipped, like this person. Yeah, they've been a tip, so I'm not going to say his name or her name. But yeah, the ones that are out there, go ahead.
Okay. So we're referring to Mr. Hammonds, correct? Mr. Hammonds is the individual that lives a 6-minute walk through the trees or whatever. And like you said, his wife found some things on their computer which led her to believe that he may have been involved. There is a connection between Mr. Dobbs and Mr. Hammonds. And what's hard to what we're trying to solidify right now is that what kind of relationship is this? And that's really all I'll say right there about that. I don't want to go too deep.
I want to do one thing. Someone was asking in the chat because they can't see our names. So if we could just like introduce ourselves and our channels. Right up here in the top left, we have Mr. and Mrs. Cher. Her channel is Voices Behind the Wall. Mine is Prairie Boy 77. And of course, we have Mr. and Mrs. Cher on YouTube. Tammy?
I do not have a channel.
She's just Tammy. She's just awesome right there.
She's family.
Benny, I'm from Dallas, and my channel is Blood Money Benny Keys.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get his channel in there too.
Totally forgot.
We got Nelly.
And I don't have a channel. I'm just part of the family.
Yeah, she's just another dose of epicness to
We
this
need
stream.
these ladies to keep this platform and keep me on track and reel me in when Mr. Cher's not around.
And then of course we got Mama Kim.
Hello, y'all. I'm from Alabama. Everybody knows me.
And Mama Kim, her channel is in the description of all of my videos and live streams, so you can find her. And I'm going to add.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I got 2 channels, Unjustified, and then I have the new channel, Unjustified Crimes, and that's where I do breaking crime news. So it's relatively new, but
And
it's
she's awesome.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
Hey, Cher, check the messages real quick.
I just subbed to your new channel, Unjustified.
Thank you very much. I really do, Benny. And I think I'm probably already a subscriber of yours, but I'm damn sure going to check.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Ma'am. Hell. It's been a long day, y'all. Give me a break.
Don't call me late.
It's been a long day.
Oh, there he is. I'm like,
First day of school that does that to you.
I think as soon as Kim put her membership link up, I was like, I'm there. And I clicked it. So I've been her member.
I'll never forget the first time I left Mama Kim a comment. I was like, oh my gosh, I have a lot of trouble sleeping, but I put on one of your stories or something, and I was like, I fell asleep like a baby. Thank you. And she was like, I don't know, is that a compliment?
Yes, it is.
I think we've all told her that at one point.
Oh, Kitty's going to be starting a channel. We'll be happy to help you.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And that link I just dropped, that's Benny's. I think that's actually a video link of his, but go to his channel and subscribe.
Here, I'll stop this a second here and we'll chat. Baby Diamond, I know who you're talking about. I don't know if she's still around. I know exactly who you're talking about because it was the same time Benny went, wasn't it? Yeah, I don't know if she's still around. Good question. Justin, I told Sonia Fairy Floss that she needed to come to America. So she just needs to come and visit us all. Or you can just come down here to Florida and we can all have a vacation. And then she can go back with you to decorate your closet. I wish I could draw and paint too. I want somebody to paint my wiener dogs. But man, it's expensive. Yeah, I don't know what. I haven't seen her, baby. I haven't. I think her and Benny fell out or something, maybe, and yeah. I think she fell out. I don't know what happened. I really don't. I haven't seen her. Oh, toaster oven. I love toaster oven. Somebody shared toaster oven's link. Y'all saw the toaster oven's doing good things out there. Doing the real fight, you know. And I'll get a toaster oven and Nightbot too. I like toaster oven. Okay, we're going to continue.
Greg, and I will add him to the description here in a minute as well. Definitely. All right. Are you guys ready to hear this email?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna try my best to leave names out, but
Now Don is not coming on the channel tonight.
not tonight. He's probably listening, and if he is, hello, everyone can send their love. I do screenshot all of the positive and uplifting comments and emails and that, and I do send it their way. So thank you everybody for that. I think that's really important for both Candace and Don right now.
Okay, while Cher's reading this, I want to see hearts
Cher,
in the
will
chat
you,
for Summer.
Cher, will you give Elizabeth Massey a wrench?
Oh, I thought you had one.
Mm-mm.
I was trying to before.
Please.
Yes, yes, yes. I could have swore I saw that she timed out somebody.
I lean on me.
Lean on me.
She probably did, but
I can't see her. Elizabeth, could you
She
type
is.
something?
She's
Thank
right
y'all
there.
for the
She's right
heart.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
she's
she's
a
reached. Okay, yeah, just keep dropping hearts.
Oh.
While I read this. All right, you guys ready? Here I go. In November 2013, I went to visit Blank when he lived in a trailer court at the intersection of Ridgecrest Ave in Kingsport, Tennessee. We had known each other since 2000. Lost touch, but had reconnected on Facebook and had been messaging, talking on the phone for several months before I went to visit him. While I was there, I drank less than 2 beers. A lot of details from that night are not with me. Regardless how hard I try to remember, I can't remember a whole lot until I woke up. I was tied to his bed the next morning. I was naked and I was very sore. Blank was sitting on the edge of his bed where I was tied, holding a plate of scrambled eggs. He kept telling me to say, "I'm hungry, Uncle Frank, and please feed me, Uncle Frank." My mouth, face, throat were all sore. My mouth tasted like I had been sucking on a handful of pennies. I was sore and raw in other places as well. I refused, and I told him I had to pee real bad.
My skin looks so glowy as if I'm wearing so much highlight.
He stood up and left the room, and he came back with an adult diaper, grinning from ear to ear, and tried to put it on me. I kicked and started yelling at him, and he immediately told me to chill, and he untied me. When I got up, I saw a camera set up at the foot of his bed. I grabbed my clothes that were on the floor, asking him if he had recorded me, and he said he didn't, but I don't know if he did or not. I pushed past him, skipped the bathroom, told him I would fuck him up if he didn't give my keys, and then I took off. I drove maybe a mile or so and pulled into a store and called a friend because I was still messed up. I still don't know how I made it without wrecking. That was actually Thanksgiving Eve of 2013. I never reported it due to 2 reasons. Fast forward to the week Summer went missing. When I heard on WJHL Summer disappeared without a trace from her home in Beach Creek, I immediately thought of Blank. I knew Blank grew up in Beach Creek and his family goes generations deep there. Back in the day, 2000 to 2004, Blank and his sister Blank would boast they could get rid of bodies in an underground cave and they would never be found. They were mean, and the community is aware of the family getting away with a lot when it comes to the law. Many are frightened of them. When I watched an interview with Don on WJHL, the one with his son, there was one part of the interview that made me call TBI in regards to my experience with Blank. At that point, I didn't know Blank was back in Beach Creek. It was and still is eating away at me after I called TBI. I have felt like I have acid in my gut since I heard Beach Creek, so I reactivated my Facebook and looked for his profile. I saw that he had gotten religion, which was really odd if you know Blank, but his post had stopped. I believe it was in 2018. I did a Google search and found the article where he was busted for child porn. And I can verify that, yes, he was a lot. So I started shaking and looked up on the sex offender registry, and I gotta blank that out, sorry, where he would have been listed in jail. I searched Rogersville and saw his address on Grady Light Road. MapQuested that, and he lives right there across from the wells. I can't even look at myself in the mirror knowing Blank could be the one who took Summer. He knows Beach Creek very well. He knows the terrain very well. He has admitted in the past, along with his sister, they know of places to hide bodies. My eyes are raw from crying every day. There is a knot in my throat that won't go away. I firmly feel Don and Candace are innocent due to the experience I had with Blank. I have literally been on my hands and knees praying to God for Summer to come home safe and bring that whole family comfort every day. I've prayed to God to give me a sign. I feel he has given me 3 signs. I will never forgive myself if he is the one because I never reported that. I wish I could give Don and Candace a hug, and I'm sorry, but I can't even look at myself in the mirror after finding out about Blank's child porn conviction. Okay, well, we can leave it at that. She just goes on and says a little bit more and talk about TBI, but that's her experience, and that is a neighbor who you could spit on the Wells' property.
That is so sad.
Yeah, so sorry, disclaimer, this is very triggering stuff. I should have probably warned everybody, but yeah, I mean, so can I say without a reasonable doubt, knowing that people like that are their neighbors, and that's just one, and there's multiple people that have the same history that are all within 4 miles of the Wells' house.
Do we know if they have checked the neighbors, you know, went, talked to them, checked the properties. Because as you know, I'm not really much into this case like you guys. I'm just kind of stepping into it.
We don't know anything that law enforcement isn't saying what they've done.
Yeah, but I mean, have you guys, and probably not, is any of the neighbors reached out to you guys and said, hey, you know, they did come on our property. They, you know, do you know if that's happened? Because if it hadn't, that's ridiculous. It should have been done a long time ago, as it is in most missing children cases.
Yeah, they said a lot of it was private property, so I'm not sure, but I feel like if we got child sex offenders, that if there is a missing child and you're within, I mean, 5 miles or even more, I feel like you don't need search warrants. You should search their house. You know what I mean? Like, why do they got rights now like that?
Well, I mean, the little boy Michael, you know, that's been missing since what, July the 27th. They literally checked a long mile radius around that child, all neighbors, even in the trash cans, properties. So, you know, I'm thinking it should have been done here. Has it? Do you know? And you don't even know if it has. If it hasn't, that's ridiculous.
It hasn't everywhere. I can tell you that.
That is
There's been
insanity.
people that have denied searching. Yes.
I would assume that they would get warrants, but
Yeah, hasn't happened.
Why
In
would you
fact, I
deny
want to say
searching?
law enforcement is not allowing EchoSearch to come back and search, and that's what I was told. Don wanted EchoSearch. If you saw part 2 of the interview, he was like, I apologize, I got it wrong. And then yesterday, Don called me and he had said they called law enforcement like, hey, could we send a couple people out there? And Don was very excited, and they were told no.
See, I don't get that. Like I said in that video I made, there's a lot about the investigation in this case I don't understand at all. And I don't know if it's because they're just not giving us information, because, you know, they're building their case. At the same time, some of these neighbors, it seems like they would have came forward and been like, you know, they did come and check our property, you know, but we haven't heard that.
Pretty
Yeah.
wicked. I think, were you the new member? I'm sorry.
I think
Or wait,
so.
somebody was.
I mean, it's one thing to zone in on suspects, and it generally is in the beginning, the family, you know, I get that. But you're going to have to look outside of the family once you can't get nothing on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to have to move it on around. You can't just keep focusing on a past situation that happened 20 or 30 years ago. And I'm not taking anything away from that. That's horrendous. At the same time, that's not the situation at hand.
Yeah, Susie, why would Don want the searches back? He thinks she was taken miles away. He want if he could get every person on the planet searching for Summer, he would.
Mm-hmm.
I think anybody would.
Welcome to the crazy train, Jenna. Woo-hoo. Yes, exactly. Don's a simple, quiet way of like, yes.
All right, guys, I'm gonna step down, but I'll be in chat for you guys, okay?
All right, Nelly. Thanks for
Love you,
calling.
Nelly.
Love y'all too. Hi, chat. I mean, well, I'm in chat, but
I don't, I mean, trying to remember the picture of the guy. Not completely bald, no. Kind of like buzzed, I believe. I can't. It is horrible.
Mm-hmm. I know when we had a missing child in our area, the police were on my property. They asked, was it okay to search? And of course it was. And they were even out there and they were looking in my pool, you know, shining flashlights in my pool because it was late at night. In my pool, you know, around the whole perimeter of the home, even under the home. So I know it does happen in investigations. And if it hasn't happened here, why? Why zone in on just one aspect when there's much territory that should have been covered, not just the woods part, you know, especially if there's offenders that close by, you know.
Just so you know, I blanked names out of things for a reason, so please don't put it in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, you did say Uncle Blank a couple of times, but
Oh,
and who is
it's all good.
Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, on my theory, because I got a few theories now of Summer getting abducted at the end of the driveway, you know, because her scent ended there. There's just wrong place, wrong time. Candace wasn't watching her. She wandered off because it's saturated with everything you can think of around there. I think this goes a hell of a lot deeper. And I think we're finally catching on to, you know what I'm saying? We're getting there. Figuring shit out. I think the cops, I think the whole fucking county's corrupt and dark and evil, and it's crazy.
Who is Frank? I don't even, is this a neighbor?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Wow.
he is a neighbor and he was released on parole out of prison about a month
or two
so
before Summer went
went
missing.
Okay, well, if he's RSO, is there any way maybe Don can demand that his area be checked? I mean, why not?
We see, that's the things we don't know if law enforcement has talked to them. Like, law enforcement isn't saying anything.
Yeah, they're not telling Don and Candace anything. Don says all the time, we don't know what's going on, but these tips are being made, but we don't know what's going on.
Yeah, that tip went in, what, like a week ago?
Well, I mean, I kind of get that. I kind of get him not telling Don a whole lot because they are very well aware that he's very active around here, and they don't want him to say anything that could taint the investigation. I kind of get that. But if I could just let him know, hey, you know, we've got some tips and some of them look promising, then that's better than nothing.
Yeah.
You know?
That would be better. Just Jay, that's what the police
That's literally what the police said. It's on my community post. They said, everybody is a suspect, but we have no peoples of interest. Exact words. So that's why I said it. So take
yeah,
it
that's
how
not
you
coming
want.
from us. That's coming from law
It's literally
enforcement.
from law enforcement. Their exact words. Everyone's saying that they're taking, everyone's a suspect and running with it. So Don Candace are still suspects, but they're not listening that right after that came out of his mouth. There's no people of interest. So you figure that one out. Pikachu, I kind of thought that as well. Yeah. All
Another
right. Well, this
question, Cher, I was going to ask you, and you may know, do you know, has Don got an attorney or does he plan to get
Just
one?
put my
Or
address.
I don't
Yeah.
want Frank's
I
information.
get it, honey.
Google, can you please not do that again? That's the second time I deleted the comment, and I'll just block you after that. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
No
we don't
more.
want to be doxing people.
I literally tried my best to keep information out. We don't need first, last name, and now you're putting address. Stop it.
Get a jump start on Cyber Monday with 50% off toys at Kohl's.
If you have an hour this week, you can learn 100 songs on the piano by learning just 4 chords. These.
Right, exactly, Cheryl. Please aren't going to tell what they know, and I get that, but
no, and they don't need to tell what they know. However, you know, they can come out with some kind of press conferences. Like I say, with that little boy Michael, they came out, the sheriff has come out a couple of times and they're doing extensive searches. And, you know, just like I say, they could say, you know, we've got some leads that are promising, but, you know, nothing 100% yet. So, I mean, just something, you know?
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. It's public record, but I don't want
Well,
it in here,
kind
that's
of.
all.
But it is doxing.
It is doxing, yeah. So if people know, they can go look it up themselves. We don't need first name and addresses in here, please. Thank you. Don't care if it's public record. Thank you, Barbie baby. Penny, they will only come out with a press conference if they find Summer or a person confessed to the crime. Yeah.
It would be nice if they would give some updates though, like if they've cleared some of the neighbors or whatever, like say something. But
Yeah, but they pretty much said right the opposite of clearing anyone. They just continue to say everyone is still a suspect. Why? I don't understand. They got to have some sort of reasoning to continue to say that. Even with these people that have passed the polygraph test, there's still some reason they got them under the radar. Why? You know, just something. Clear people, you know, they've got their circle narrowed down. You know they do by now, surely.
I would hope so. Yeah.
Yeah.
If they don't, that just means they haven't been working on it, and I would hope that's not the case.
I think that, how can I put this? I mean, I do think that they brought Chris there for a reason. I think I think everybody has tunnel vision on the one thing, honestly.
We just talked about it an awful lot. Can we nickname him Fart? Sure.
Fart.
That's a whole lot nicer than what I had in mind.
And working on the pings from the tower should be back soon. They would get that information within minutes if they wanted. It wouldn't take months to get.
What's your guys' take on why H, his phone was reportedly kept longer than a lot of others?
I don't know what the hell's going on with that.
I don't. It's almost, you know, is it something that's a viable lead that we can believe, or, you know, is that just kind of the Hawkins County street talk? You know, I don't know.
It's hard to really decipher anything because I haven't seen the police come out and say they still have his phone.
Yeah, we don't know that for certain, but that is word on the street. I was wondering, is it because maybe he didn't have a contract on, so those records aren't, you know, as easily attained, you know, through a search warrant or whatever. If it's like a, you know, a pay-as-you-go kind of thing,
track phone,
right, something like that, you know. The contracts, I think, with AT&T, Verizon, things like that, you can summons those records fairly easily. But the track phones, you know, burner phones, whatever you want to call them. And most teenagers, you know, that is what they got. So that could be the situation there. I don't know. You know,
hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, there's been someone that came up to me saying they've tried to tell TBI something, and I won't say what this version is, but they felt like they kind of were like, oh, okay, like thanks for the info, bye. So I don't know what's going on, you guys. I don't know. I just don't get the greatest vibes from it, if I'm being honest. Yes,
well, yeah,
everyone being respectful and kind. Thank you.
That's certain. They definitely are in evidence now. Dawn and Candace got their phones back, correct? But they were wiped. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Goodness. Forgive me. How do I take that away?
Okay, I got it. I thought you were going to show something.
I was just going to look up the conviction rates in Hawkins County. I'm just kind of curious about what kind of cases. You have kind of a culturing of crime in counties and cities and et cetera. And that culturing of crimes, it will a lot of times it will be the result of certain drugs in the area or certain behaviors in the area. So I just am kind of curious also about what is their success rate in handling child abduction cases specifically.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. And thank you. Sorry, what was the name on that?
Brandy?
Oh, Brandy. Thank you, Brandy.
I don't imagine their success rate with child abductions or missing children is very high. Like generally, that's pretty low.
Exactly, and they're already hamstrung, Mr. Cher, by the lack of technology. I mean, even basic communication like two-way radio or your simple cell is darn near non-existent. I mean, we know that for the initial search they had to bring in the cell pumpers, just to try to create a cellular environment to communicate. Otherwise, without any sort of direction, that thing becomes tactless. And it's a mess.
Yeah. Any other children gone missing near her area recently?
Yes, in the last year alone, there's over 250 since 2020.
How many?
And Barbie, thank you. I mentioned you. Thank you.
Over 250 in the last year.
Yep, over 250 in the last year.
In Tennessee?
In Tennessee.
And they did just bust a trafficking ring.
Wow. Yeah, and there was
I think
a
just
boy.
after Summer went missing.
Yeah, there was a little boy, wasn't it, Cher? Remember we talked about it early on. It was only like a day or so that Summer went missing around the area.
Yeah, the next day.
Yeah, was it 24 hours? I know it was very, very close.
Good night, Catalin. Good to see you.
Night, Catalin.
Do you guys
Well,
want
when I
to
looked the statistics up for missing children, it's every 40 seconds a child goes missing.
That is.
That's nationwide, correct?
Yes.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know that in Chicago, Illinois, it averages between 1 every 20 and 30 minutes.
Unreal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it said that 200,000 of those missing or taken by out of the year are taken by family members.
Correct. And most of those, a great deal of those get resolved. They're custody issues,
Right.
or a majority of those, great deal of those get resolved. It's that third party, that kind of creeper that nobody knows about but knows it's possible. Those are the really dangerous situations. Plus, I was
And the
talking
other 58,000 are taken for sex trafficking. There's like 58,000 taken for sex trafficking.
And that's the thing that I was going to touch on. It's like, typically when I covered the Orson West case, and in that case, you didn't get the feeling that the boys were, I think generically we're conditioned for the most part to think that when little boys go missing, that there's not that motivation, right? But, you just kind of automatically feel like when a little girl goes missing, that the probability, and it quantifies a million times that it's for that particular reason. And that's what is so sad, is that the young girls of America are under attack.
Because we believe, so again, the Wells don't really know, they're not being told anything. And so we don't really know, but in 2 months, we're looking at what tomorrow. I would really hope that they did look into all of that kind of stuff. But in the rural area they are, I'm not really sure about like ring bells and stuff, ring cameras or whatever, I don't really know, but we know we got pictures, and I'm sure they went to the stores and asked. Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those things, again, we hope that they did that, but we don't know. We don't know anything about what law enforcement has and hasn't done. Like literally nothing.
Hey, will you show that little 40-second video for funsies?
You just plug your phone in.
Oh.
That's very interesting. Camden, is that where are you from there? Are you locally from there? Because that's.
Yes, Camden is from 20. Camden is a friend of the family's. He's from about 20 miles from Kingsport on the Virginia side. And he's a great individual. I had him on live a couple of nights ago, and he's very familiar with the area and the politics of what goes on there as far as law enforcement and on the street level. So Camden's is a great resource, and he's also got a crazy investigative mind. So he's a good guy to know.
Very awesome. Thank you for that information, Camden.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
And my heart goes
Thank
out
you,
to
Amy.
That's awesome, Amy. So guys, one thing I wanted to kind of clear up, I know that there's probably no actual way we could clear it up, but I know I'm looking here, it says roughly a month ago, that was when we were at that 870 tip mark by volume. And then I ran across, I think it must have been about 10 days or 2 weeks ago, I ran across another piece of media that said that the tip count was over 10,000 now. And that is astronomical to me. It is like it's like lotto odds, right? Like how could there be over 10,000 tips and one of them not even accidentally be wrong at this point, right? I mean, I don't know. It almost kind of, there's been times in the investigation where I felt like there were some sort of attempts being made to keep this thing from resolving. And I don't want to go too long on the resolving part, but I will tell you this. Many of the YouTubers that we feel like are the grail and the deity of all when it comes to this case, these people are so really far removed from what's really going on it's just a shit show, right? I cannot say enough how these law enforcement gentlemen know what they're supposed to be doing, but I think that they prey on our emotions. And when they prey on our emotions, they force feed us this figmented reality that it's okay to do this, right? Like, I don't know how long specifically true crime has been going on YouTube, 15, 16 years, but before that, I assure you the conviction rates were crazy higher than they are now. The jury pollution is insane. And so I say all that to say that these deities, these holy grail channel creators, they have a real interest in making sure that these cases drag on, right? If we actually get justice for Summer and bring her home now, well, then that means the money stops. And when you plug up the money, what are you going to do, right? So there is certain channels that have a very, very invested commitment to make sure that this thing drags out as humanly possible. I know that sounds sick, but that's the reality of it. There's so many people that can say the things they say. I heard someone say the other day, better their kid than mine. And when I heard that, I thought, wow, that's the worst of humanity right there.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Thank you, God's grace.
Yeah, you may think that, but you never say it.
That's it, right? It's like saying,
grace.
that never happens that'll never happen to my family, and the next thing you know, it happens to your family, right? And so then it puts you under the microscope. I do want to say one thing that Camden put out there, and I had not heard it talked about, and he's kind of boots on the ground there. Now, the status of the house, when the interview room went in, we saw the status of that house. Let's bear in mind that house had been flipped upside down 7 times by TBI. And at what point do you, in the middle of your child being missing, at what point do you just stop cleaning up after the police when they flip your house upside down? You just don't have, after 2 or 3 times, I probably don't put it back together either. But what you saw was not a fair representation of what it's going to look like every day. That's what anyone's house is going to look like after being turned upside down and searched 7 times.
Yes, yeah, I know. We got.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to keep cleaning up after
Well, I mean, we shouldn't be
every
here to
time.
judge
Hey,
things
Camden.
like that. I mean, we're here to find Summer, not to judge anybody by their clothes, their home, whatever. And I
Was I muted this whole time? I was sitting here talking and muted. What the hell? But that was my baby girls that I got from West Monroe, Louisiana. I'm not going back through all that. Them's my babies. But the little black one, I think a lot of her, she's very aggressive. Like, I think she has seizures. She had one seizure on me not long ago. But she'll have these spurts to where she'll just snap out of nowhere. Yeah, I was muted. I know. I'm not starting over, but anyway, and like she'll attack you if she gets a hold of you. She's brought blood to me several times, and I think it's seizures. And like she bites Monroe, my older dog. Her name's Monroe, my red one, and she attacks her sometimes. And I got her on melatonin, and it kind of helps. But then about a month ago, she just stood in the middle of the living room and had a full-blown seizure, and it's the first time she'd ever done that. So I think her aggression comes from seizures. It's neurological. It sucks. And I'm working on getting her to that. It's $4,500 for MRI. And that's not even going to tell me if that's what's wrong with her. But I'm pretty sure by the way she acted. Okay, we're going to continue.
Yeah, some people thinking, hey, these kids live in this, live in that. That's not for me to judge. That's not my job. I'd love to find where Summer's at. That's the whole reasoning. So all this other, it's irrelevant to what we're doing.
That's it. And while we're doing this, when there's lulls in the action, that's when we have to pick up our alternate cause, right? In my of course, I'm here to find Summer first. Second, I'm here to keep victims from being blamed and bashed. And third, when I feel like I've adequately done those things during the lull, I will really start preaching on jury pool purity. It is a necessity. We have hundreds of thousands of people watching this case, and you couldn't definitively say where any of them are watching from, but everyone in Hawkins County is watching. Those are the people that are going to get the letter in the mail to come and apply to sit on that jury. And it is imperative that those people are impartial to the most severe degree. Like, these people need to be impartial. They're going to hold someone's life in the balance, potentially. We want justice for Summer, so that means somebody's going to go to prison. We want to make sure, first of all, we have the right person, and secondly, that that there's no exoneration 5 or 10 years down the road when somebody gets an appeal. Right. So, we turn this thing into a West Memphis 3 type situation. Right. You get somebody 20 years in prison, and then you got to cut them loose while the real killer just sat back the whole time.
Right, and that's the problem. It's like all eyes is focusing on irrelevant things and not the issue at hand.
That's what happens on YouTube when they run out of content about the victim. They will they're like little kids. They'll touch anything their height, anything, button, anything, wheel, they can turn, anything they can do. They're going to touch and pry and do it all. And that's just, once you get 4, 5, 6 cases in really deep, I don't know how many you guys have done, but I'm 4 cases in really deep, and it's the same trend. And you know what? It actually, it transpires about on the same timetable every case. Every case about week 6, you look, and it's about the same place in every case online. A mess.
I agree. And then when it gets to the court, I can assure you, whoever is sitting on that stand that has done this, they're not going to be questioned. The house isn't even going to come into play in that courtroom. The condition of the house, Summer's head shape, none of that shit is going to come up, period. Her disappearance is what it should be talked about and looked at, not the house, not the clothes, not the head.
Have any of you seen an unhappy picture of Summer and the kids? Question.
No.
You can cover some of these other cases where these kids have actually been through hell. You even like little Gabriel Fernandez, all the hell he was going through, and he still, every picture he was a happy soul. Now, irregardless of what anyone thinks Don and Candace parenting standards are, until a child goes missing is the only time they've had real issues with the protective services. So they've been doing a good job by country standards for the whole length of their children's lives. And they live in the country, right? Those kids don't look like they've been spanked a day in their life, ever.
Actually, I talked to his older kids from his first marriage who will be on here this weekend, and they say the same thing, Ben. They said, absolutely not. My father never touched us inappropriately. And he said, Don actually rarely spanked them, even at times they know they really deserved it.
That's it. You can't look at Don. I know that we're not getting a fair focus of what his real persona is, but if we're to judge it anything by what it is now, I can't personally see Don flying off the handle. And I think that his arrest record, it states that, right? He's not the guy that flies off the handle and hurts people and stabs and cuts and does all that crazy stuff. Like, he's kind of got his lane in life, and that's what he's stuck to. I know that the thing with Candace was whatever it was, but guess what? In the eyes of the law, no matter what we think, that case was nullified. So it's not fair to judge him currently on anything. Period.
Yeah, and he's very from my judgment, and I talked to him quite a bit, he just seems like a simple man that works all the time, and he's been nothing but kind and open and honest. He I don't know if some of you all know Ronnie Watts. I see him the same as Ronnie Watts, just calm, simple man, like man of few words, but unfortunately he's had to have a lot of words, you know. Yeah, yeah. You got timed out too. If you're timed out, it's because well, I'm not sure what you're saying. I didn't see, but either something's being mentioned that I went over with the team ahead of time that we can't mention, or you're being rude. I don't know. Or it could be an accident. Sometimes it's an accident.
Yeah, I'd like to comment on Twin City citizens. My mother, she works in nuclear medicine, and so one of the things that they taught them in nursing school was how to, of course, make a hospital bed and properly sanitize. That's all part of it. And so I always remember my mother, like she would wax the floors and then spend, the next 2 weekends stripping them so she could wax them again. And so I say that to say that, my mom spent most of my life cleaning and making sure that when other people came over, they were, just mystified by the cleanliness. Like when you say eat off the floor, like my mom has 2 golden retrievers and you could still eat off the floor. She spends all day, even at 65, still vacuuming and mopping all day. And I like what Twin Cities said, like a good mom, that, man, there's cookie dough on the ceiling and, there's you just don't, if you're a great mom, you don't have time to make sure every single dish is done. And you know what I mean? You're busy living life and enjoying the outside. And, so I really, I commend Twin Cities just for that way of thinking. That's awesome. That's how I think.
So I checked the messages that are being hidden or timed out. And I'm sorry, the mods are following what I asked them to do. If you're talking like about the essay and Don, I did ask that that's not allowed. And the couple others, I mean, they are following what I asked them. There's just some things that, we kind of try not to dwell on. It comes up in conversation because it is unfortunately something he's had to defend, but we actually do try not to really talk about it unless we really have to, like it comes up or whatever, but they're just deleting it because it's certain words that I had asked that we don't have in chat because they do watch what we're doing, because if they're not happy with it, I do say I will take it down. And so I just want comments to be respectful so they have a safe place to go where it's not all bashing. That's all. So they're just doing what I asked. So I'm sorry. And then the other comments that they blocked, which I'm okay with also, are ones where we're calling him alcoholic and stuff. It's not fair. It's not needed. And those aren't questions we're going to answer. So yep, they're just following the rules that I simply asked for. So thank you, mods. Good job.
What's up, Dicola?
Hey, Dicola.
Why I don't believe the sisters. Just Jay. It's not that I don't believe the sisters one way or another. I'm sure I just feel like that the timing is the only issue on that, and that's all. And again, I maintain the stance that as far as the 2 cases are concerned, that this ain't that and that ain't this. That's basically it's what it is. If they finish up with one part and he changes clothes and goes into another court and he's found guilty, I stand with the victims. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. They're deleted the one name that I asked them not to put in there because it's a tip or whatever. It's the only name they deleted, so it is what it is. Yep, right, all those accusations. Oh, I mean, I checked the messages and y'all did what I asked you to do at the beginning of the show, so thank you. And I do have that pinned in the comment there if anyone wants to join and has anything. So so I've gotten people now that I posted from 2 different work employees, his alibi for June 15th, and now people are trying to say, well, he did it before he went to work now. I'm like, did what? What did he do now? So now, now it's before 8 in the morning something happened, even though there's postings at like noon and whatever, and people seen them at like 3.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Like, I don't get it. And I'm all like, did what? What did he do before work? Like, I'm not understanding unless you know something I don't know. Like, what did Don do at work? It's fine. He's still guilty. He just did it before work. That's what the comment was. Guilty of what? What did he do?
Well, if Don did it before work, then that means Candace, Hunter, and Allie were all involved because they all said Summer was around that day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Correct.
doesn't work for me.
That's the one thing that they do agree on, is that there was a point in time where Candace, Grandma, H, and A were all there reportedly, and she was sleeping. So that seems to be the one and only, if any other thing that they really agree on.
Well, if everyone wants to keep talking about the essay and the stepsisters, what will you all say if this weekend, like tomorrow or Saturday, you hear the very stepsisters that are out there doing paid for podcast YouTube shows and dragging on that essay bullshit?
Correct.
The reason why they're doing it is because it's helpful for their channels and their views. And trust me, I've had private conversation with some of these people telling them it's all wrong. It has nothing to do, but it is what it is. We do things differently. It's fine. What would you do if tomorrow evening I had a live stream with the very sisters and Don, and they all said that this is something they're working out privately and they want their family to heal? Thanks everybody, but we're out. Like we're healing now privately ourselves because Mr. Don Wells has apologized and the family is all good with that and they've made their own amends. What would everybody do then? I'm dying to know because I've got a few surprises up my sleeve.
Exactly.
They'll tear down the victims they were just supporting. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, it's turn.
Yeah, and that's pretty sick, right? But I mean,
Yeah. That's all they can do.
Yeah.
If the Pope said that he supported Don, people would stop converting to Catholicism.
Well, I mean, I get Don did confess to it. I mean, I get that, but Bill Clinton can confess to things too, and the world let it be.
Exactly.
And I'm not, don't even come at me with, well, this was kids. Well, they were. My math shows they were both kids.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it makes it right at all. At the same time, yeah, he confessed to it. Now let's move on and get to what we're supposed to be looking at, and that's Summer's disappearance.
Why did he confess I'm sorry but 40 years later? Why when Summer went missing?
That's the key.
I don't understand.
Even if it was 10 years later or 1 year later, the fact is that it lands on the same tragedy. Like it's just a lumped in kind of deal, right? Like, you buy the chickens, you get the farm, right? It's that's what it is, and that's really what made the antennas come up. It's like, hold on, like you know this, you're seeing what they're doing to your brother. Why would you want to put yourself in that forum to be scrutinized in that way?
Yeah.
I mean, his older kids even said, never has Don been inappropriate with his older daughter or older son. So if that's what the older kids are going to come forward and say to everybody, you know, why should we believe then a man who has no charges for this, okay, no charges on his record, as well as his 2 older kids from his first marriage saying, never, and that little Summer would be very upset with how her dad is being treated. So if he's not got any charges of this, as well as his 2 older kids and older daughter saying, no, he's never inappropriately touched us, and they're in their 30s, why do we believe then he did something to Summer? I don't understand. And if he did, don't you think those? Oh, I can't say anything about that.
I agree.
You know?
Oh God.
Just,
I know Bill Clinton has nothing to do with it. You know, that wasn't the point I was getting at. The point I was getting at is in the damn past. It's not irrelevant to the situation at hand. Stop the bullshit and let's find Summer. Okay? Period.
And he has admitted to some of it, not everything that has been said.
Well, it's between them. You know, at this point, it's between them. It's been so damn long ago. Obviously, it's their situation. If the sisters want to put it in court, then you know I'm gonna stand behind them. They're the victim. That's what I do.
Well, you know, let me share something real interesting. Is that the person that would have been involved in this confession is the same guy who was under the scope of the nation for coercing a 14-year-old boy. Like, you know, if you don't go to the chicken shack to get fish, right? So if you really want to squeeze something out of somebody, how do you do it? You get the person that knows how to squeeze, right? So, you know, the first thing I would do as a defense attorney, and the first thing I will advise Don to do is to make that correlation, right? I mean, all you got to do is sit on the stand and say, well, yeah, he may have done this or may have done that, but it's, you know, the states pick up cases and stuff. And this is in regards to if the family has done their private thing, and then if the state decides to step in, you know, it's already been polluted, right? You put a guy on there that knows how to coerce, you know, statements out of people. And then you look at you know, we're stuck in the YouTube world, but when you actually go to court and you start talking about, you hear judges and prosecutors talking about the way a case is today as a result of online participation. You know, judges do not like when it gets to that point and YouTube has meddled into something. I assure you of that. It looks cute now. And it looks impressive with the numbers, but when it gets in front of somebody who's been elected to sit there, they don't appreciate what's going on right now in a real way.
Yeah. No, I can see the idea that a lot of people have. If Don was if this was a pattern of behavior or whatever his entire life, then I could see it. But at the same time, we don't know that Summer was ever violated in that way. We don't even know if she's alive or not. So to say Don is guilty of what? We still don't even know what happened yet. So how can he be guilty?
Exactly. Have you guys publicly rendered an opinion on the status of Summer right now, whether you think it's one way or the other? Has anyone here done that?
I kind of said it once. I mean, I'm hoping that she's alive and someone just has her and they'll find her. But I think I believe she's no longer alive.
Yeah, I think somebody. I mean, yeah, I definitely think it is possible somebody took her. I don't know if they had a grudge with her or if maybe somebody possibly took her because, I mean, look, everyone judging them, was somebody around them judging and possibly took her to maybe think they were going to do better for her or something. I mean, I don't know, because so many people were willing so quickly to trash the wells, including Agent Allie. And it makes me wonder, because they're so willing to just dig and dig at them for whatever reason. It's like, well, I wonder then, because Candace said when they got to the lake, Hunter went right away into the woods. Well, did he meet up with somebody there then? Like, that maybe even Candace didn't know about? Like, I don't know.
I just want to address, it was already timed out, but I know you're probably listening, Sassy. They are not making money off of this. In fact, they're losing money because Don is so distraught, he can't work as much.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So the amount that they're getting in donations and stuff like that, it's not even making up for the income.
It doesn't offset.
Work.
Yeah.
No, and I'll tell you this right now, not to cut in, but I typically, when I'm involved in these things, I'll watch, like so many others will watch the social media. Don's posting a lot. He's posting a lot. Guess what? I don't go and look at anything that Don posts necessarily at all. What I'm paying attention for, is the amount of time that he's spending online. And what I will tell you is that you can see a direct representation on that little green dot on his page. In the beginning, it was he would take longer periods away from the internet. And as the intensity really fires up and focuses in on him, I noticed that he's spending, it's you can't avoid it. Right. I mean, I've spoken
because he's living on Facebook Messenger with us.
That's it. Yeah, that too. But I'd spoken with Jacqueline and Trezell West privately in the email, and it becomes this issue once you're bombarded online that you actually physically get addicted to flipping through and finding out what's the next thing they're saying about you. That was a big thing that I helped Monica Sherrod in the Cash Earning case. I was able to counsel her and her kids away, at least if I was able to get them off of the YouTube for 5 hours a day, I was gaining traction.
I actually asked.
Girl interrupted. I agree.
I do that. Some people have said that, oh my gosh, when Cher's questioning him, it's like she's reading my mind. I literally get up in the morning and I go see what everyone's posting. I have to watch the bullshit and then I take notes and whatever. But yeah, I prefer Don doesn't do that and tries to focus on work and then whatever, we're doing on the side. And I know he does.
Yeah, he does.
But it's just like, it sucks. I can't control it. We can't stop him from watching it. But I try to beg him not to do that and try to take the brunt of it so he doesn't have to.
And that's a beautiful thing. And I'll tell you, for anyone that's listening that's had negative things to say about Mr. and Mrs. Cher, that's part of it. And let me tell you what, when you're involved in that type of activity, You have to remember that these boys at one point are going to come on this YouTube and they're going to see all this stuff, because these egotistical YouTubers, when we get to the end of this and they figure out, oh, I was wrong, they don't go back and take all the videos down. That's not what they do. They only take the videos down if they get embarrassed. So this is a digital legacy that is going to last forever. And again, these boys have to grow up and try to live through this. It's impossible.
Hey guys, how are you doing? Benny, I wasn't trying to cut you off, man. We talked before this. I just wanted, there were some things. I mean, I feel for the family so much. I'm friends. I become friends with Benny through this. I'm not friends with the Wells family. I want to clear that up. I'm in the area. I used to live in Churchill, but me and my wife have been paying a lot of attention to this. And I watched that interview last night and on Web Sleuth. I don't want to put his name. I don't know how y'all feel about this. Is that all right if I say that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, just about, the way that Chris is twisting his words with the truck and the dog trail video, saying Jamie did that. That was Don. He made that video, saying that they don't know who the white truck is. That's Don's truck in the video. They've also talking about the day that Summer was dancing in the rain and that he slipped up and carpooled with Dudley that day that she went. That's wrong. He was talking about the day that that video was then she was dancing in the rain. That's when he was talking about carpooling. And I mean, I've watched how he's twisted every word the man has said and trying to make it like he's lying about every single thing. And it's really irritating me. It's aggravated me to death, to be honest with you. But there's some more things that like Benny was saying, if you can't judge that house, they let him come in. That house was flipped upside down, went through 7 times. It's not going to be perfect. When and he said that they didn't get their phones back. Yeah, they probably did. I don't know, man. Which all this, but I just wanted to clear that up about last night. That really irritated me.
Thank you. And how he was like, if there's no charges in Tennessee, we're going to get him in Utah. We're going to go find all of the friends from 40 years ago that he molested. It's so ridiculous. Shan, my love.
Hey, Shan. Mods, just be mindful of what you're timing out. If people aren't saying anything nasty, I've been seeing a lot of comments.
A few of the comments that are deleted are like, I don't know.
There's nothing wrong being said. So just only disrespectful comments, not just because you don't like the person. Okay?
Yeah, please. No brand new info. Just a chit chat with the team here and catching up. Don should sue him, absolutely. April, we've definitely mentioned that a few times. He actually had no idea. I know people were giving him shit like, why is he posting about Stephen Avery and Brandon Dassey? Well, because he had no idea about that case until we brought it up to him yesterday, and he was like, oh my gosh, he watched a little, and he's like, wow, they got railroaded. I'm like, yeah, so he's
kind of got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about law enforcement.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Camden.
No, I just said rightly so. I mean, it's coercion in the biggest form in all those cases. Go ahead, Benny. I wasn't trying to cut you off.
No, actually, I was getting ready to ask you a question. And we'll just call him JD. Everybody knows what those initials are for. You gave me some information about the gentleman from Georgia that I just was unaware of. Would you talk about him for just a second, if that's okay with Mr. and Mrs. Cher?
Yeah. From the beginning, I mean, I didn't understand this while Chris McDonald said, "Oh, he's been turned upside down, so his pockets have been fell out." I mean, he doesn't know that. But this guy, I mean, if you saw the Facebook post when this first happened with that guy, he changed his appearance immediately.
On the 18th.
I mean, I sent Benny the pictures of he said new shave, new look for a new start. And me and my wife had realized he was posting pictures of abducted children for I don't know how long. And then when this happens with Summer, he posts nothing about it. Said not one thing about it. That just sends a lot of red flags. And this can all be proven. Everything that I'm saying right here. And,
I have the receipts.
Yeah. And another thing, the man drives a red S10. Don said itself that they didn't know for a fact that the truck was a Toyota Tacoma. And there was an altercation between Mr. Dobbs and the police over a property line right before this, because he bought the property joining up to or close to the Wells property. You could actually see and hear the kids playing and stuff, is what the woman that made the report said. But there was a property line disagreement, and they wanted him to move back over on his side. But when the police came, he refused to give his name. He had dead tags on his vehicle. Then he posted a picture of an alibi of his dog at a hotel that was posted 5 years before on his Facebook, and said that he was at this motel. That stuff has been just washed over, and I didn't understand why, but I think it was because Chris didn't want to go there with it. He had his agenda who he wanted to point fingers on at the very beginning.
Yeah, you can see he edits out certain people who I think we all know about. He edits out so that nobody hears that there's these other suspects.
And I'm not going to go out here and say that's absolutely who I think it is, but that's a lot of red flags that people should know about.
Right. I mean, he was in the area still on the 18th. And so I guess what we heard was that the land deal fell through because they had advertised it with a creek in the back, but then when he actually got there, the property line excluded the creek. Is that correct?
Did they finalize? I'm asking my wife, right? According to the tax documents for this year, he owns the property. He still owns it. Yeah, he owns it now. And we even said it online. We pulled it up where it said it was 2.2 acres, sold for $11,000. Two Jackie Dobbs. And then there was also something else that people on his. This is before he made his Facebook private, because I mean, when this happens in your area, you're all over it, because it makes you hold your children just a little bit closer. And because I have young children, as well. But people were asking him, well, what's up with the neighbors in Tennessee and what's going on with the property in Tennessee? He posted legal issues, is what he said. But I mean, and that's all. But the posting abducted children constantly on his, and then not posting a little girl that's right beside your property.
Yeah, the girl, her land butts up to your land, and you have no interest in that all of a sudden. It's like you're staying away from it for some reason that's unknown.
Right. And I don't know, somebody just said Don sold him the property. I don't think that's true. That was going through a real estate agency company called Clinch, or no, East Tennessee's Realty or something. Don't quote me on that, but
Yeah, I don't think it's done.
no, I don't either.
believe.
This had been on the market, and they're saying it's great for an RV, great for tents, great for this. It was. I think it had been on the market for a while.
And not only that, but if it were Don's, where did the money from that sale go? I mean, come on now. I mean,
Right, exactly.
That's insane. You
That's
have
why I say about him selling his kids. Like, where's the money, you guys? Everyone makes fun of them for being basically like call us like white trash or whatever. Now, yeah, yeah. Well, everyone's gonna see inside that shed, and then the shed at the bottom, and all of that. He sent one, but it's too dark. But he was like, just to make people laugh. Why not? You know.
That's another thing. Like even that Chris kept saying that people have twisted. He wasn't complaining about having a car payment. He said it's been sitting out there. I'm paying $600 a month for it. Why not drive it? He never said anything about I'm paying all this and I can't afford it. People have twisted words with that. And you know, around here, and I even heard somebody say that last night on that same interview that just the people around here that have nice cars couldn't work the technology. First, I was like, what? I was like, I mean, yeah, we take pride in what we have. It's not a very rich community. It's poverty stricken. It really is. But we do the best we can. You know?
I want to ask you three guys, starting with Mr. Cher. What do you think? So the analyzing his every word, and when they say, I don't know, I think when Don said, I don't know, I think someone took her and threw her in her car and went far away, and they're picking out, oh, they know it's a her. He knows the other to her. Like, what do you make of that?
I think that was just he just misspoke. Knowing Don as I do, he's white knuckling it through this whole thing. He's hanging out by a thread. So yeah, he's not gonna speak perfect English.
Go ahead, Dan.
Tammy. Is that her name, Tammy?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You go first.
Go first on.
What do you think about
what you just said,
Cher? To dissect as a big clue they're trying to say. He told on himself right there.
Yeah, I'm sure he said
I don't even.
I'll tell you what I think it's like mental gymnastics. It's like, hey Don, tell us about your daughter going missing without telling us about your daughter going missing, right? Like, find a way to tell us without actually telling us. Like, you know, use Spanish, or, you know, I mean, and when you know that every word is going to be scrutinized, how do you even pull up to the table and approach the situation? Because you already know, oh God, I want to keep, he's here with Ms. Cher and Mr. Cher because he wants to keep the awareness alive and stay out of the drama, right? So he wants to keep his daughter's image in the press and all of that. Everyone else just wants to keep his image in the press, right? So it's diabolical is what it is.
Yeah, and some people saying he said there.
Thank you.
But yeah, he calls his wife he sometimes. So like
they want to
call.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say they want to call him out for misspeaking, but Mr. McDonough misspeaks on everything. He doesn't even say the name of the stores right or anything. Nobody's calling him out. He misspeaks on everything.
He seems to conveniently forget about certain details.
Yeah.
You know, like it's pretty annoying. And I'm not bashing him, but he spent a lot of time in one of the videos. I think it was the first video with Mr. Johnson, where he talked about, I sure wished I would have asked him what she was wearing, and he had. Like 2 videos back or a video back or whatever, at like the 56-minute mark, I think it was. He had asked her and he had mentioned what she was, you know, I mean, it's just like, dude, to forget some of these very important and intricate details, that's an issue, you know?
Mm-hmm. Totally agree.
Yeah.
I understood what he was saying. I mean, I'm from Louisiana, and I did not think the way he talked was weird.
No, it's not at all.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying, you know, you got to think this too. He knows that Chris is going to be on every word he's saying, and he's trying to talk and tell his side, and he's like, he's already been attacked so much. I mean, you're going to constantly, you know, you're saying her all the time when you're talking about Summer. I mean, right. It's very easy. But you know, like the analyzer, he jumped on. It wasn't just one thing here and there. It was every sentence, every word. He said he left for work. That's a red flag.
Like, hey, I tell my wife I left places all the time. Like, I don't know what's tricky about saying that you left from somewhere. Like, just, you know, he puts a lot of crazy emphasis on these verbs that people say, and you're just like, oh, dude.
Well, he said, and he also said every word that ends in ly is a lie.
Is a lie.
Like, she's happily, or this, you know, anything like that. What does that mean?
It's clinician talk.
How can you even say that everything you said ends in ly is a lie?
It's
doesn't even make any sense.
It doesn't. You know, or let let God or whatever. You know, like it's like clinician speaking in metaphors. You know, it's not actually, because there I am. Actually, it's not actually factual. They call that bunk science.
He also said,
and he's not gonna.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that he's not going to trust anybody anymore now. You know, to talk to.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's what that chat just said it right there about last night on the interview. He said, he said Candace passed it. He's never said that he did. He has said multiple times that he's passed that polygraph and that he didn't know. I mean, I don't know. It just gets to where it just gets frustrating to hear somebody contradict their own self in their own interview when he said, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when you expert is something that I think that if you apply that to yourself, I think you loosely apply it. Like when you're referred to as an expert, I want to say that it's because other people are calling you an expert. And when you use the word expert, it signifies and it dictates precision. And what is precision? Precision is no flaws, no mistakes. And it's like I feel like I've been force-fed this word expert, and I'm tired. Like I don't like the way expert even tastes anymore. Because in order to be an expert, you got to be I don't know, like very, very fluent in what you're doing. And these situations change so fluidly, and the technology of crime fighting, it changes so fluidly that it's just so hard to stay on top of every piece of what it takes to bring these things home and get the win, right? So, it's just filled with, there are times when it's like, does this guy have amnesia? Like, what are we really dealing with here? Because we know that anything that we output is going to be automatically painted by our cognitive bias. So it's like when you imagine someone who has autism, but they communicate really well, and you can't tell they have autism, but the way that they think is just completely out there. Now, you now put that person in a creator's seat, and they've got some sort of psychological deficit, and you give them 100,000 subscribers, and now you've got what looks like a cult.
Well,
Good night, checking convictions.
Well, I wanted to weigh in too. Is like what me and you were talking about earlier, Benny. Is I think an expert would be somebody that has been there, done that, like a lot of us right here, that can sit down and talk to somebody like a human being and know what they've been through and where they've come from, and actually relate with somebody before you can actually say, oh well, this is everything he's saying is lies, everything is this. Well, do you understand how he's lived or what his life has been like? No, you don't. But if you can relate to somebody on a certain level, you will find out a whole lot more than judging blindly and acting like you're above somebody.
Right. And one really important thing, I put it on a community post. My criminalist friend from Australia, she was like, Benny, don't you know that real detectives, when they talk to civilians or they talk to, what they brag about is exoneration rates. They don't brag about conviction rates, because nowadays when we have, around 700 people a year, I believe was the last count for 2020, Project Innocence brought home, I believe, 700 inmates, and 300 of those inmates will come from death row, and 100 of those inmates, or 200 of those cases, were solved with DNA. They were put in jail with bad confessions, bad detective work, bad DA work. So I say all that to say that real detectives that really have been in the grind, they talk about how many cases have been overturned. And we know publicly, we've seen a shameful display of coercion and then exoneration. And I don't know if a lot of people know about the Crow case, but there's actually now 2 people that have been exonerated. So the gentleman that they put in jail after the fact, he's now released or getting a bail or something. So you can see the legacy and the contiguousness of what happens in the front of a bad investigation. It doesn't turn clean at some point. It just continues to stay filthy the whole way. Back to the point. The point was exoneration rates, right? Conviction rates are cool, but you look down the road like like a West Memphis 3 situation where three people, profess and confess their innocence from day one, but they got to do 19 years in prison before anybody believes that they're innocent. Go ahead.
Well, when you hold somebody in an interrogation room without food and water for over 12 hours, and then those people are like, and they've never been through the system or been questioned about anything before, they think, well, these people are trying to be my friend, and I just need to tell them what they need to know. That should be scary to everybody.
You see that in a lot of cases, and I think that's sort of a plague when it comes to cases that happen in rural areas. When you look at the Xavier Harrelson, the Orrin North and West case, when these cases happen in a rural setting, immediately what they do is they want to blame the parents, and then secondly, at some point in the near future, they blame law enforcement. And so then there almost becomes this vendetta against law enforcement to try to hurry up and at all costs, solve these cases. But I don't know that the community that I'm involved in, they haven't solved the case yet. So I don't know what it is they're actually doing. What they do is they befuddle the cases and they muddy them up until, they drag it out until another one goes missing, and then they jump on that one. That's what happens.
Well, if somebody with credentials comes out and points fingers, and then it has everybody else pointing fingers blindly, that really makes it hard for somebody to even state their case or their innocence in either way.
Yeah, and when you think of the typical detective, like, let me tell you this. Let's talk about the best detective there ever was. Does anybody know who that was? Anybody? Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock Holmes was like this guy that like cloaked himself and moved around in the dark and like solved cases but didn't want the notoriety, just wanted the betterment of man and wanted to actually, he was a great teacher. He taught the Sherlockian craft to other folks so that they became master investigators. But somewhere down the line, you look at the progression in American law enforcement, what happens is a guy typically is going to ride in a hot car for usually from 1 to 7 to 10 years. And then out of nowhere, they grab him up and they make him a detective. Well, he didn't train for a particular brand of detecting before when he was in a hot car. So what does that tell you? That means they drag him in and he learns on the job. And when you learn on the job in law enforcement, that means automatically victims can get the FUBAR. And what's sometimes worse, but always equally as damaging, is that that someone doesn't get justice, or you get the wrong kind of justice. Can you imagine getting the wrong kind of justice? And then you've got 20 years later, you got to drag this person out of jail that you convinced this poor family killed their people. Now you're ripping it away from them and saying, no, I was wrong, that's not them. And now we're 20 years behind finding your loved one's killer. That's what happens in America. That's an American problem.
All right, really quick, you guys. Okay, some of the mods there, I might have to rethink wrenches, not to be rude, but I've seen some things because it tells me I can view what messages got deleted and who. Some of the stuff isn't necessary to be blocking. I don't know what's going on because it's not what I asked for. So please, okay.
I think people are just trying to keep up. And
yeah, and everyone's on high alert. I get it. So just again, when I ask for specific things, I like it to stay to that because like someone said that they like rebel flags. That's not a problem. That shouldn't be deleted. Another person just put a heart and they got timed out. So that's not gonna fly here. So that's gotta be figured out. That can't happen.
I got timed out earlier.
Sorry.
That's all good.
I don't know what's going on. I threw out new wrenches tonight, and I'm gonna have to rethink that because we have to follow. I mean, this is my platform. Y'all are helping me, and I really do appreciate that. But there's certain things I didn't ask for, and it's not right. So I'm sorry. And the second thing is people are like, well, how does this, like, how come we're like getting off topic, whatever. I don't think there was any bashing of Chris. He made himself another fellow YouTuber, a YouTuber who is very much in this case. So there's no getting around discussing him and his tactics, but I feel like it was done respectfully tonight. We weren't bashing him. It was just a discussion, and that's my opinion. I thought it was fine. And then the other thing, what was the other thing? Oh, how is this discussion helping with summer? This is just, like I said, what's it labeled? Round table meeting. Let's get together and talk. That's what we're doing. So
I mean, if I can add something to what you're saying, even I mean, it's a discussion, and just because he, like you said, he's a YouTuber, but just because he has credentials doesn't mean that everything he says is right. That he can't make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and people can talk about it because that can give somebody a fair chance. If something was said wrong and somebody comes back and says, "Well, I've listened to this from the beginning," that's not exactly accurate. That's fair. That can be done.
Yep.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interject right there.
No, that's good. So we're gonna head off of here, but thank you, Benny, Camden, Tammy, Nelly, Mama Kim. Thank you for joining the panel tonight and chit-chatting. There's definitely lots more to talk about. And to the mods, thank you. And I'm not trying to bitch at you guys.
Okay, so that was that. I've been listening. There's a second part to this that we're going to go to. We're just going to keep rolling with it. I wish there was a way. I hate having to go all the way back through these. Oh, here we go. What is her head going to explode about, Fairy Floss? What are you doing?
Shop up to 50%.
These fucking commercials. Sorry, y'all. I agree, Fairy Floss. I don't care for him, but yeah, I feel the same. Let's see. Okay. Oh, look, I never liked that one, so we're going to like it. Okay, here we go. We're going to jump right into this one.
Okay, we are
No
live
problem.
now. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everyone.
Okay, so
Hello,
really quick.
everyone.
Last night when we were live, I know I threw out some new wrenches. I know people are on like high alert because of all the attacking, but I can see who blocks what message. I can read those messages. So all I'm going to say, I did not take any wrenches. So I'm just going to ask that tonight we try to do better. Open opinions, like all opinions, as long as people aren't assholes about it, are welcome. Let's be kind of mindful on what we are, like we don't want to have anything that's straight up incriminating Dawn or Candace, or anyone coming in here and calling Dawn and Candace a nasty name, but like some things were getting deleted last night that didn't need to be. So I just want everyone to be a little more mindful. I know it's crazy because people are all on edge in the attacks, and I do appreciate all of the mods for trying to help this be a safe place for everyone to hang out and not be attacked. So let's just try and do a little bit better tonight if we can, though.
Yep.
Without sounding like a mom or something to everybody. I'm sorry. What up, Ben?
Hey guys.
Good.
Hey,
So,
Cher.
what do you all think about that little short video?
I thought it was great.
Yeah, me too.
I get lost in there for sure. So many roads and holy crap.
But
a lot more options than what Chris was showing.
Might be an interesting effect to take that drive and piece it with his statement or deposition, just so it's kind of like an instruction booklet. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but you could cut up his audio. It doesn't, you don't have, it's not a lapse correctly in time, but as he says something and does something in the car, you just line it up and show how exactly it transpired, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, he kind of did. But
he did. Yeah, he did.
But yeah, lining it up, or even just have him do like a voiceover.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Might help too.
We got to spell it out a little bit more for some of these people, huh?
Unfortunately. But great work. I mean, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
just
sorry.
recording
One of those
45
nights here in
minutes.
the country.
Yeah.
What happened to me?
I said it's gonna be one of those nights here in the country. Keep going in and out, losing my signal.
Everybody's on the internet.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
600 in chat, so.
That's bad when you live in the country.
Good
Because
evening,
you really
Miss
aren't going to get a chance hardly then.
That's right.
Hello, how are
Good
you,
evening,
Benny?
Nelly. I'm well, thank you.
Hi, Benny.
Hi, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you too.
We had a new member. I'm sorry, I forgot the name already.
Nani Davis. Nani
Nani
Davis.
Okay,
Nani.
welcome. Ronnie?
And Nani. N-O-N-I.
Whoever became a new member, thank you. Welcome to the Crazy Train.
You got it right, Mark. It was Nani. Sorry, it's hard to talk, guys. I sound weird.
No worries at all.
My ears suck. You guys.
No, they don't. I had dental surgery, so I'm talking all crazy.
I want to talk
I'll just
about
pop
what
in
we
and out
just...
as I can.
That's fine.
It's like me when I started streaming. I keep booting myself off.
Oh my God.
So, okay, we recorded with Dawn for another like 45 minutes or so. I don't want to say too much, but whenever we are like tomorrow, you guys, his sister, like his full-blooded sister, surprised us and actually called in to the thing, and it is interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All this stuff and drama causing with the family, it's got to stop.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably some of you watching who think Dawn is guilty or whatever. I mean, it's okay that you think that, but the people who are making up fake accounts and calling in tips to the TBI, and people who are messaging Candace and all in her ear about stuff, like, you're just causing a lot of pain to other family members. You're not just hurting Dawn. You're hurting everybody. So you got to stop. You guys really got to knock it off. This is way, way out of hand.
Yeah. When you guys see what we just saw on this man's face tonight, he's very concerned for Candace. He's never seen her this broken down before. I did ask the question you sent, Benny, and yeah, that was interesting. I asked him, where did he see himself, like where does he see this in the 6 months? And he said he hopes that he's with, like, Summer's home. So he still does. I know people hear him talk about, oh, the resurrection, da da da. He has no hope. She thinks he's dead. He does not think like that. He's speaking from what he's taught in his religion. He absolutely has hope to still find her alive. He said within 6 months he hopes Summer's home. They're a family again, that they can start working on what they need to. I mean, he does have hope she's alive somewhere.
Yeah, and all that resurrection stuff, and that he's keeping that little bit of himself prepared for the worst.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to just blindly think, oh no, she's fine somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what I said too. I was like, that's what we want to hear from him. So that's
That's
good.
I thought of, instead of just asking him outright, I thought of a way that you could just ask him and be able to kind of gauge, his motivation to move forward.
Yeah, you guys, the hate and the harassment, they're reaching out to Don's job, trying to get him fired from his job. He said because he's already unable to really work because of his emotions and stuff, like he's doing the best he can. He said they've been really good to him, but on top of that, they're bothering the job and everything. So he's actually afraid that he was like, in 6 months, I might not even have a job.
Yeah.
Oh. Hey, mods, be careful if you all time out and stuff, because somebody got timed out to ask just a question. So be careful. Read it before you time them out.
Yeah, because we welcome questions if they're not like nasty.
But if they're derogatory, yes, please do.
Yeah, and they can be questions that don't align with, Don knows this does not look good on him. He knows that. So if it's a question, like, we don't all
I
have
want to slow it down a bit. It's probably why.
Yeah, that can
you want to slow it down. That could be why. I think that's what happened. To be honest,
that is not right to do that kind of stuff. No, it's not, Stephanie.
I saw someone say that, well, we presume they're innocent, others presume they're guilty, so it's the same thing. No, it's not. It's always innocent until proven guilty. That is the whole concept.
That's what it's supposed to be.
And you can think that they're guilty. There's nothing wrong with that. But trying to get him fired from his job, harassing him, harassing Candace, harassing other family members, that's not okay. Whether you think they're guilty or not, that is not okay.
Or throwing creator on creator drama bullshit to them right now. Like, that's what they need on top of everything. Do you really think that they care I have animal cruelty charge? Do you honestly think that Don gives a crap about that? He's basically being condemned for murdering his daughter. Do you think he cares about animal cruelty charge I have on my record, that he actually knows what happened?
Yeah. Welcome to the Crazy Train, Karma.
And it's not helping find Summer.
Well, that's just it. It's causing more
issues. Energy in a negative way. Yeah.
And also, they don't care how much child support that Benny owes either. So stop sending information on all of us to them. They don't care.
I became disabled in the time between I stopped working to the time that I received my disability. That's where the child support came in, unfortunately.
That's no one's business. I shouldn't even know that that's a thing.
Our personal lives have nothing to do with what happened this summer.
Why are people getting into personal lives for you guys?
I don't know. I had so many emails. Oh, you know what? I didn't really care for you, but I kind of like what you're doing for the Wells. But I see you have a new mod now named Ben, and let me tell you about Ben, and let me tell you about this and that. And
that if you want.
I'm like, oh, you know what? He keeps his wrench now, everybody. Thank you. That's I gotta take a call.
Yeah. By all means, don't tell us not to do something, because we're just going to turn around and do it immediately.
We all have a past, man. Come on,
Yeah. I actually have a pretty boring past, but people want to spin that and try and make stuff up about me. I mean, whatever.
Oh.
But I'll go through that if it helps Summer somehow. Like, it's not going to stop me from trying to help. So. Lie away.
No way. Well, here, I can go.
I am
on live right now. But I can still bring you. Here, do you want me to? Do you want me to put you to the microphone? They can hear you. Okay, repeat what you just told me. Who was bothering your work and doxing you and your work details, Don? Who was doing that?
Well, Mr. McDonough put out there, to the world who I work for and everything, and now my boss is getting threats and everything else. And so, I don't know. I mean, my boss is really cool. He's but it's pretty bad when they put out who I work for out there to the world, for all these haters and his crew to harass my employers now. And I just found that out.
Wow.
Thank you, y'all. I just wanted to let you know.
I'm so sorry.
Sorry that's happening to you, man. This is bullshit.
Don, we're so sorry.
You got
I think my boss is bigger than that. So hopefully, I think.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Don.
My boss is bigger man than that. So, well, it's not y'all's fault. But just wanted to let y'all know. Thank you.
All right.
I'll let you go.
Thanks for letting us know. They all heard you. You have a good night too. Say hi to Candace for us, and thanks for giving an hour of your time tonight. All right. Bye-bye. That is fucking ridiculous, you guys. I am so angry that.
Yeah. Old boy McDonald, you need to delete that video.
Stand down right away, or I'm going to help them sue the shit out of you.
That's doxing.
He's being sued already for the Crow case. He's been named as a defendant in that case, so he's good for all of this. We need to start working for an attorney, guys.
Yo, I'm shaking inside that he literally just called 15 minutes after recording with us to find out what just happened. Do you all think that this is okay? Like,
there's going to be a massive purge on YouTube coming.
Tonight.
All this behavior that people, you haters, you think this is okay. Think making up lies about me being a sex offender and going after Don's job and all that shit. This is all illegal. Doxing people, threatening people, all of it is illegal. And you're going to get shit hammered. I'll take out a loan and I'll hire a lawyer and I'll start going after people. I didn't want to have to go into debt over this, but I'll do it.
Hey,
this is unacceptable, you guys.
Yeah, that's beyond the scope. But I'm not going to mention her name, but everyone knows that there's a YouTuber now that's in civil court litigation for $10 million behind comments she made.
I helped with that.
Thank you.
I helped with that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Sure
I was a little birdie for Ray Andriacchio sending all screenshots. I had to pay to be a freaking member to send things. And
guess what? She's going to be the sacrificial lamb. In her case, is going to be the thing that's going to help start reshaping all of this.
Yeah, well, it's got to get through to YouTube.
So as I was going in and out, what happened?
Don called me and said, and yeah, I was in a different room. He goes, "Oh, I was trying to catch you while you were still live." I said, "What's going on?" I'll go right back to the computer. And he actually said, a certain YouTuber, he said, Chris, somebody actually released his work information and had people doxing his work. He's trying to get Don fired.
Mm-hmm.
Is that so he can't take care of his family? Is that what we want for him now?
I bet. I mean, I heard rumors that he's actually telling people that Candace is talking to him on the low, and that he really wants people to try and convince Candace to flip on Don and turn Don in.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
It is. This is horrible.
And I know people don't like, we don't want to bash Chris. We really don't. However, here's the thing. He's going to get talked about because he put himself here. He made himself, he's not a cop. He is a YouTuber just like me, like Mr. Cher, and like the rest of us. So if he wants to be a goddamn YouTube cop with expired credentials, he's going to get it like the rest of us do. I'm sorry, but that is some bullshit. You don't do that. Plus, I know what channels he's behind, and it's not behind anything good. He's
actually against the law to impersonate a law enforcement officer.
Wasn't he like looking into your background, Ben?
Oh,
Mark, can you slow down, chat?
But I'm not the one who wants to. He knows that. I know the law. I know. I've been on the other side. I've been in the court more than he ever has. I promise you that.
I don't like that man one bit.
I didn't realize he actually put out his where he works, the company he works for. That was stupid, man. That was dumb. You should not have done
that. Is it okay if I speak about that thing that I sent you from LinkedIn, or you want me to hold off on that?
Oh, I think that's okay.
Okay. So Mr. Chris St. Christopher, he likes to tell folks that he's 40-year detective. Actually, he was only a detective or he was an officer for 25 years at Oceanside PD. But we know he didn't just come right out of he didn't come right out of training as a detective. So he maybe did 12 years as a regular cop and then 12 years as a detective. So we're actually looking at a guy that has less than 15 years as an actual detective, right? Just when you're a cop and then you stop and then you consult, that's not still being a cop. That's being a consultant.
Yeah.
So this man has less than 20 years as a detective, not 40.
I just don't think he would call me and want to go live. Like he said he wanted to catch me while I was live. So if I'm sorry, I don't see Don lying. I just don't. He would have some balls to be putting it all out there like that, I don't know.
Yeah,
he's
it
upset.
wouldn't make much sense for him to keep trying to provide all this information, all the back roads and everything.
Yep, 25 years. What's that say, 1982 to 2007?
Yeah, you typically do 7 to 10 years before you make the move over to detective. So I don't know exactly how long he was a detective, but he didn't do 25 years as a detective. Even that is misleading. He's saying 25 years as a homicide and robbery. He wasn't in homicide and robbery 25 years. A very short period of that time was he in homicide and robbery.
Yeah.
Okay, nobody on here is claiming to be an expert. We are all just giving opinions. This is a roundtable opinion talk.
Yeah,
if y'all don't want to be here, then leave.
Thank you, Nelly.
Well, no, you know how they are. They just want the drama. They're in here because they care about what's being said.
Well, you're getting
Thank you for the views, and tomorrow you will hear because everyone is so butthurt. What does Don think about you getting secret chats? What does Don think about you getting subscribers? Well, I asked him, and you'll hear.
Yeah, I bet he's really appreciative that your community continues to grow because you've got a positive community. So I don't know. Maybe we'll be fortune tellers here and say Don's probably actually pretty happy about your channel growing, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Yep.
Yeah, he wants more and more people to see his side. So if we keep growing and keep bringing more attention to it, he's happy with that.
Well, he's happy with the way that we are handling things. So if we grow because he says we're doing things in a good way, a positive way, and not manipulating, because I'm getting subscribers, but I am actually shocked by that. But I go against the grain all the time, and it actually slows me down. Like for the amount of people on YouTube that have my name in their mouth, my channel should be huge. Okay.
Yeah, that is true.
I'd be willing to turn over all my super chats to the cause, whether it be to the to the reward or straight to the family themselves for their living money or whatever, what they need to get by. I'd be willing to do that, no problem. Not that I expect anyone else to do that, but I'll do it.
Yeah, by all means, if you want to do that for them, they would love it.
Mr. Cher shaved off his beard along with Cooter Brown for a fundraiser for the Churchill Search and Rescue.
Churchill Rescue Squad.
Nice.
Yeah, and some people have been bitching about that. Well, you haven't sent the money yet. Well, for those of you who don't understand, here's how YouTube works.
Thank you, because I remember saying this at the beginning. I'm like, just so you know, YouTube is a month. Like you have to wait a month to get the payments.
Yes. So that fundraiser happened last month in July. I will get paid for what I got donated in July on August 20th, around the 20th. Usually it's like the 21st, 22nd. Yep. Once I get that money, then I can pay out to Churchill Rescue Squad. I can't do it before because I don't have an extra I don't know what it is, $1,200. I just don't have that. Like YouTube doesn't give you the money
That kind of
instantly.
money,
We made over $1,000 in donations.
Altogether on both nights, it was something like $1,500 from both fundraisers of the beards being paid for the search and rescue.
You guys are badasses. Wow.
Of course, YouTube takes a huge ass chunk of that.
Yep.
But we'll still have a nice amount to give to them.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. Like I grew that beard for 13 months or something like that. It was like down to my nipples.
Oh wow. Did you donate it to someone
Well,
else?
yeah, it was worth
Here?
I should have, but no, we threw it out.
Nobody wants a wig with that kind of hair, Ben.
Yeah, it's very
Oh, I
close.
meant someone else that wants a beard.
Yeah, they could do like beard transplants.
Like glue it onto one of those damn masks we all had to wear.
Well, I mean, people get wigs. Why couldn't you get like a fake beard?
Yeah.
I'm not really sure that would work. How you gonna put it on there? Glue it?
Yeah, Nelly.
Staples.
The person that called us idiots, we are not fucking detectives. We know that. We have no credentials in that area. All we are doing is talking about the case.
I
Right
don't
now
need
we are joking
credentials.
around about what happened with the
this is-
lives and stuff.
I hate
We're not
when
trying to be
people come in here and
detectives.
say-
Nobody said we were.
We aren't detectives. We're just.
About the video.
Yeah,
and
we didn't
if
say we
Don-
were. We didn't say we were.
I'm sorry.
If Don or somebody ends up being guilty, no, we're not going to look stupid. Nobody's up here claiming anybody's innocent, not innocent, guilty, whatever. We are just talking about everything, and we are here. Cher is here to get Don's voice out there, so that he has a voice, because
How are you gonna
nobody
find
else
out?
is letting him talk.
How are you going to find out the whole facts if you don't look at both sides? You can't just pick one side and look at those facts and not look at everything. How do you think they find out who does
I
things?
just got to stop everybody for a second. Can you ask people not to post links to deceased bodies found to Don's Facebook page? Whoever, if any of you are doing that, stop.
What? Are you kidding
not
me, you
Don's,
guys?
not Candace's. Do not send links to dead children to these fucking people. What is
Wow.
the matter with you? God, you're sick.
Oh my God.
Holy shit.
Jesus
What is-
Christ.
And you're getting on about Don doing nasty shit when he was a kid. This is fucking nasty. What is the matter with you? Holy crap.
Nobody can even address Summer because everybody keeps attacking everybody about Don and whatever was said. Holy crap.
That's terrible. Oh my God.
Let me just say something. Y'all don't know who I am. Y'all have never met me. You only know me from YouTube. So do not be making judgments about me or anybody else on this panel. You don't know us to talk about us like that. You don't know Don and Candace to talk about them like that. You just know what you're seeing, and you're just picking and choosing what you want to see, and then you're exploiting it. Well, stop. Sorry.
Can I say one thing about the video?
Yeah.
I'd heard a lot of people making comments about how, why did Don pass the house up and go straight down to the creek? Well, I didn't have a really good ideology of what that area looked like. And when he pulled up to it, I could have when he was like, okay, here's the creek. I can imagine people out there in that area. And it doesn't look like an area that you would just be all the time. So when you see activity in that area where, you don't usually see it and you're coming home under the pretense that your daughter's missing, I believe you drive straight to the creek too, where the action's at. You drive right to where you see people and get some answers.
Yeah, I think some people thought it might have been like quite a bit out of the way for him to do that, but no, it's like right there. It was like 2 minutes. So
Yeah,
he
it's
thought,
just
well, everyone's
right
up at the
there.
house.
Yeah, right
I'm going to run down here. It was a smart thing to do.
And he said, I knew they already checked, like you had said, I knew they checked at the house. I knew they already checked all over there.
Yeah, it turns out it
like,
didn't matter
if you
because his
call
boys
the
were already
police,
down there.
Yeah, if you call the police because she's missing, it's not because she's in the house. It's always safe to drive right past the house when you call the police because your child's missing. It's not home. It's somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And so it's just like any little detail he picks up, someone's going to grab the pessimistic side of that and just razor it to death. I mean, that's, guys, anyone who didn't understand why he drove past the house, that's why. Very simple.
Yeah. Really quick, people that are coming in here and bitching about the title, y'all are unbelievable. It says round table talk or round table discussion. I don't know. We're supposed to just I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah,
This
they're
is
like,
my
back to
platform.
summer. Well,
We're
we
here
want to
to
get back to summer. We need all of you morons to lay off Don, stop harassing Candace and where he works and all that shit.
Yes.
Stop calling in phony fucking reports to the TBI so they can get back to summer.
Yeah, it's not
your
only that-
fault.
He never gets wired up like this, you guys. But here's the thing.
I'm gonna
This
say
is my platform.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, this is my platform. And I make the round table discussions for all of us, and we like opposing opinions, but this is a way for us to chit chat and discuss about whatever we want. But yes, our minds are on clearly defense for Don and Candace because that's where this has led to because of what people are doing. And there's not much more we can do about finding summer. We can't go put boots on the ground. We talk about summer. It's discussions. Unfortunately, this is what it's come to. But this
I'd
is
love to take a couple weeks off and go down there and just walk roads and trails and go through bush.
we
I
also
can't.
need a place for us to come together and just chit chat. And
We're no one-hit wonder. Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. Folgers.
yeah, sorry.
People are taking offense to my language. Good. Take offense. You should be pissed off. This is ridiculous.
Let me tell you, we never have.
But you should be pissed off at what people are doing to Don and Candace, not pissed off that I'm pissed off about it.
Tammy, Nelly, anybody that knows Mr. Cher, does he usually go off the tracks like this? I'll wait because I'm pretty sure I'm going to see a lot of
It's been very rare. I can tell you that.
YouTubers are.
And I don't even cuss, and that person made me cuss tonight. I don't ever cuss.
Hey, if I cuss and somebody that gets caught up on the way it sounds and not about what I'm saying, then you're not on the same. We're not the same, anyways, right?
What's that damn word, Ben? We gotta say Fulkerson or something like that.
Fulkerson.
Fulkerson. Damn typos wouldn't let me say fuckers. It said Fulkerson. He goes, well, we're using that now.
Don't get Fulkersons around here.
Yeah. Folk you me too. Folk you me too.
Can Don just have people search himself and ask if he search himself to come there and search? Well, according to Don, he has asked for them to come search, but the police don't want them to do it. And I think that's mainly because they have no idea where to search. So it's like, yeah, you guys could come, but I mean, we don't even know where to look anymore. You should wait until we get some info and be ready to go.
Coupled with that is that, you heard Don say that there's some seedy characters around there, and I think that there's probably a number of property owners that just don't want you on their property. That's why they live in the rural areas. So Don is absolutely free to search all of his own property, but as far as going on somebody else's, that's going to be he's going to have to get permission for that. So if you think Don hasn't been searched square inch and every blade of grass on his 11 acres, you'd be wrong.
Brain dancer. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, we've heard skeletal remains have been found, but I highly doubt that like Summer hasn't been gone long enough for her remains to be just skeletal remains now. Like unless she was
it takes a while
eaten by animals, but even then there would still be other stuff.
I pinned the link for the panel there in the comment. If I saw Cam in there. Anyone wants to come up and chit chat. I do want to end this in a little while because we've been kind of like recording or YouTubing a lot today.
Yeah, we've been busy. We're trying. Cher is like literally going on this from the time she wakes up to the time she goes to bed.
It's bad. I'm like dreaming that when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming that I'm like wandering in the woods or that I'm like putting out fires everywhere. I feel very tired when I wake up again.
Mm-hmm.
Start searching things. Well, I don't know why law enforcement is not letting searches happen because Don did contact EquiSearch to come back out. They asked law enforcement. They told them no. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's like police being dicks. I think it's because the police don't have any idea where to put them to search. So, and you guys seen if you watch that video, I mean, that's really thick country. If you don't know where to start looking, you're just wasting your time, money, resources, everything.
Cam says, I'll let Eddie explain.
I'll let you explain what's going on. Yes, Cam and I, we're going to do just a little fringe theory talk about Mr. JD. We just keep uncovering things that just don't make any sense. There's just too many coincidences. And we know in these types of situations and investigations, there just isn't any coincidences. And we found enough to fill up 2 handfuls. So tonight we're going to go on and we're going to talk about a lot of the stuff that we found. It's public record. We just pieced it together. That's going to be the second part, but the first part will be putting together a petition for a Summers bill. And what that's going to consist of is just a petition to try to get on a ballot. And the petition will be in regards to stopping the solicitation and exploitation of children's case, crimes against children. Because exploitation is exploitation, whether you're selling a child for whatever means or you're profiting off of the unfortunate events of a child's crime. It needs to be stopped. If you want to slander the Daybells or you want to slander Barry Morphew, do it all you want. But we're talking about children here, so there has to be some sort of restraint. We also did a live earlier today about journalistic code of ethics. And the very first rule of journalistic code of ethics is to not harm anyone else during the process of your investigation. And that's about, that's nil now. Anything that's being said hurts someone.
Mm-hmm. Whose channel is this going to be on?
Mine.
Okay. Do you have it set up yet? I don't see it.
No, I haven't. We spent most of the day just putting the whole thing together. And
okay.
Yeah, it's not even really something we care about having a ton of viewers. We just want to have it happen.
Someone's asked, why is he shouting? Well, that's just Benny. He gets fired up.
Yeah.
I get real fired up.
Yeah, he does.
I get fired up for justice, guys.
Fired up for justice.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know why, but I just thought like real Bible thumperish, like gearing up for Jesus, y'all. I don't know what's wrong. I need.
If you ever sat in county jail in a one-man cell all by yourself for months and months and months with no end in sight, and you were innocent, when you got back on this side and had the opportunity to fight for justice, you fight tooth and nail, and that's what qualifies me.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. Guys, he did with the West Boys case. I didn't know anything about his channel or your channel, Ben, until actually the first one you addressed a video to Don and Candace, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, that's first one I watched is when you actually had our back there.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
I want to play devil's advocate here, and I'm going to be civil about it.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay. Okay. Statistically, there are 287,000 kids that went missing last year. 1%, which would be 287, were stranger abductions. I'm not saying Don is guilty of anything.
We were on that train too at the start. Yeah.
Well, last night there were some facts that were misstated. There have been over 1,000 tips to TBI, not 10,000. I just, here's the thing. We want to keep this about Summer. Let's get it about Summer. Let's stop talking about Don. Because every time Don talks, he puts his foot in his mouth. There's something that contradicts it.
Disagree.
Yeah, picking apart
I have to disagree.
every word he says over and over again. That's the reason we're doing this.
We're here for different opinions. I mean, that's what this is about, correct? Different opinions. I'm not being rude.
Nope, you're not.
It doesn't. Don said at one point that the phones were taken, they didn't get them back for weeks, and then they were taken one day and they got them back the same day. Don just needs to stop. Tucker Drywall. I don't recall that in Chris's life. I'm not picking apart anything. When I heard Tucker Drywall, it was literally on this channel. And you know I followed it, Cher. You know I've been following since day one. But I don't. But if information keeps being put out there, yes, people are going to call me. It's human nature. There are Dawn haters. There are Dawn supporters. That's the way it is. I'm not going to say either way. But you have to take into account everything as a whole. Everything as a whole. And no one can make a claim at this point. Nobody knows what was done. And
Right. So I'd rather be wrong in backing him and find out I was wrong than going the other route. But the thing is Kat, people that are in the situation, in these missing children and then spun into high profile, they talk. All they want to do is talk. Look at where they went first, and people manipulate and they worry about their own narrative and having these people talk. So we didn't want that for him. We know he's going to talk to somebody. And he started already, but look at what happened. It's being used against him. It's being used to incriminate him. It's being used to villainize him, right? That's not what's happening here.
But do you not understand by you guys continually interviewing him and posting this? It's fueling the flames. You're not doing Dawn a justice by posting these things. You're
giving him the platform and doing things how he
wants to defend himself, and we're helping him.
Yeah, so
we're not the ones who are causing the stink about Dawn. It's Chris. How many videos has he done going over the one interview he had with him over and over, bringing in expert after expert, picking apart every single word? He's the one that shouldn't be doing this shit.
I respected you, Cher. I never said I loved Chris. Okay, anything in an investigation, you have to rule the parents out.
Which the police have.
What you do it privately, not on YouTube.
The police have ruled out the parents.
No, they haven't.
I don't
know. No,
they haven't. Yes, they have.
Sheriff Lawson said yesterday, everyone is a suspect.
Yes, they're saying. Well, they aren't saying specifically, but if Don lied about calling 911 from work and all that, if his alibi was bullshit, if he failed his polygraph, he would be arrested.
Okay, maybe they're waiting for more evidence. Either way, Lawson's statement yesterday. I'm being respectful, Mr. Sheriff.
You are.
Everyone is a suspect. He has not come out and said Don is not a suspect. I mean,
okay, that's fair. I'll retract that. Okay, Don is not the only suspect then. So why the hell is everyone so focused on him?
Because it's being exploited. Don keeps going to all the channels.
No, he doesn't. He's coming to us because he's getting railroaded by one other channel.
A couple other channels
who are also doing it too. Yeah. But it's because of that one channel. If Chris had never done that, Don wouldn't even be talking to us.
Let's agree to disagree. Okay,
that's how it's definitely.
And Don in that interview, he controlled everything. Chris barely spoke.
That interview itself was good.
And like I said, in any police investigation, you have to rule out the parents. I think Chris was going along with, okay, Don, let's get your story out. Let's roll you out. Let's move on.
But Chris isn't the police. The police. He's not the police. Chris is not the police. They've been doing true crime has only been a thing for 16 years. Before that, and all the way back to the inception of justice, these things were handled privately in a vacuum on purpose. So
hey, guess how old his channel is? Guess how old his channel is? Like exactly 1 year old.
We don't need to rule out anybody. We need to support the victims and let the police do the work. What he's doing is infecting and has polluted the jury pool. You can't get that back. When he's done, we can't reverse it.
No, Benny, look, I prefer not to.
Ask police on the cuff. Ask police on the cuff. All of this that's going down is inappropriate. It's malfeasance, is what it is. It's malfeasance.
Benny,
right on down to him saying he was a detective for 40 years. No, he was only an officer for 25. And
he has been a law-abiding citizen.
He stretches his credentials.
How do you know?
That's not cool.
How do you not?
He stretches his credentials.
Have you looked into any other cases he's been on, Kat?
You know
he's put innocent children in prison, innocent children that he knew was innocent.
He didn't coerce Don in any way.
He coerced him.
No, he's not.
I'm sorry, Chris went to Tennessee wanting Dawn in cuffs. He went there already, tunnel vision on what he wanted. I'm sorry, I don't know. I've seen things. I know a lot more than some who haven't seen, and it's clear to see what Chris was doing.
How are you saying, Chris, Benny? I'm going to address one thing to you because I can't be respectful to you. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it right now. How do you say that Chris coerced the SA of Dawn? He did not. Dawn admitted that on his own. Chris didn't coerce that.
Yeah, well, we can agree to disagree. I don't want to feel like you feel about me about you. I just agree to disagree. The man has a track record of coercing confessions and then letting people out of jail.
Wait, Kat, who brought it up? Not Dawn. He didn't say, "Oh, my daughter's missing. Let me bring up I sexually assaulted my stepsister 40 years ago." What?
Chris said he interviewed. Chris said he interviewed the sister before he interviewed Dawn. Right? So if Chris interviewed the sister first, he already knew about the SA before he went to interview Dawn. Come on now.
Facts.
What do you mean? It was a setup.
No.
What are you talking about?
In the interview. He did not say
stop now. Stand down, man. Stand down.
We're falling off the tracks.
Yep.
We're falling off
the rails here.
Yeah,
that's fine. We can agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, we have to agree to disagree because everything that you're saying, Kat, I am not on the same planet. I'm sorry, I'm just not.
Like I said, we can do this civilly, and I can bring up issues, and we can address everything.
We shouldn't have to address any of this stuff, madam. At all. We shouldn't have to address any of this stuff.
So can I, Kat?
You're an investigator.
Wait, Kat.
Police department.
Kat.
No rights calling people.
Kat.
Yes.
Your opinion on Summer Wells is what?
My opinion is we don't know.
Okay, so
hold on.
If you don't know, then do you think it's okay for people to be trashing Dawn and trying to get him fired and all that stuff?
I have to call his employer.
I didn't ask you that.
That's
Listen,
not the question,
do you
Kat.
think it's okay that this is happening is what I'm asking.
If you don't know what happened to Summer, the actions that are being taken against this man, are you okay with that? You're saying you don't know, but I already think in my head, I think you already have an opinion. You just don't want to say it, and that's fine.
We all have an opinion, Cher. You have an opinion.
So,
okay, I'm going to express my opinion. Nobody knows
Innocence before guilt.
Benny, can you shut the hell up?
You have to form your opinion around innocence before guilt and then go on. You don't form your opinion around guilt and innocence.
Yeah.
Come on, lady.
I find so many people that disrespect law enforcement because they're fucking felons.
Well, we lost him.
I think we lost her.
Because can you fact check, please? Please. Just like your newspaper article? No.
Okay, I wanted to answer to my question though. Do you think it's okay what's happening to Don? People trying to get him fired and harassing and stuff?
I'm not aware that anyone is doing that.
Oh,
do you think it's okay that this is happening?
Okay, stop. Get her off of here. Kat, unbelievable. You are just on another fucking level.
How can you not answer a simple yes or no question?
Bye.
Yeah. Do you think it's okay that this is happening? And she won't answer, so we know her
Because she knows she's okay with it.
He lives in America, but she's a communist.
Good God.
The man is going through enough, Trixie. Amen. Very rude, Gret. Yes, absolutely. Honestly, I would have put her a long time ago, but this one here is way too nice.
I was trying to give her, I just wanted her to answer the question. I wanted one of these Chris supporters to say it's not okay that this guy's getting harassed. But I guess that's not going to happen.
No, they think it's okay because you got to see him
it's totally
drive.
fine to ruin a family's life.
You are not welcome back. I'm not letting you in. This is my channel. Mr. Cher would let you, but this is my platform. Not happening. No. Actually, I'm going to end it with that because I think that's just.
No, don't end it because of that.
Well, I mean,
don't let them win.
Well, I know it's not. I wanted to end it anyway. That's just whatever. And,
let's go to an hour.
Okay, we got 10 more minutes, and you're not allowed back, Kat, because that is some. And someone's in there. Oh, so much for allowing different opinions. What do you mean? We allowed it. She was just.
You guys, like, holy crap, your skulls are thick.
Oh,
man.
All she had to do was answer the question, but she wouldn't. It wasn't even a hard question. I'll put it to the chat. How many of you think? I want to see yeses to this. I want to see you people back up your shit. How many of you think it's okay that people are trying to get Dawn fired, have been harassing Candace to the point where she's having nervous breakdowns and shit? How many of you watching this right now think that's okay? I want to see you put yeses. Stand up for what you believe in. Let's see some guts in the chat.
Yeah,
own it.
Yeses. Now own it.
Yep.
And all you morons who support Chris, you think it is okay? Look how many no's you're seeing. Use your freaking head.
We got a lot of smart people in here. Thank you. Oh shit. All right. Hello, Helen. Hello, just me.
Hi there.
Hello.
Welcome to the
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Helen. I'm Helen.
I just had a comment, if that's okay.
Yep.
I've been following the case since like day 2 or 3. There seems to be a lot of confusion with everybody. Dawn's, for instance, I had to skip over a lot because I was late coming in. Dawn's workplace has been out there since the first week. Chris did not put that out there. There were pictures on Candace's Facebook page with the company logo on the boys' t-shirts. A lot of things that are happening, people aren't catching that this has been happening. And it's just creating more drama.
Without them knowing, though. Like, they're not expecting people to pick the damn logos off of people's shirts and call them in. They aren't used to any of this.
I get that. But everybody's stirring the pot. If everybody would just settle down and stop naming names and stop all the bullshit, this will die down.
I can't argue with that at all.
Don is bringing a lot on himself. Don should have kept his. No, he's
should have kept his mouth shut, but he should have continued talking to Chris.
You guys know that.
No.
He shouldn't have talked to Chris to begin with.
I'm saying before Chris. I'm saying before Chris came in the picture.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Did you know that the TDI arrested Megan Boswell just for lying?
I followed Evelyn's case. I know all about Megan Boswell. Thanks.
Had Don and Candace even just lied one time?
Had Don and Candace left this to be about Summer, we wouldn't have half the drama that we have today.
That I disagree with, because Don didn't initially come out trying to say, "Oh, we're innocent." That didn't happen until after they started getting attacked. I do agree that they shouldn't. I do agree that they shouldn't have gone big on social media like they did, and they should have refused all interviews and all that. Yes, I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, they should have done interviews with the real media.
They weren't happy with what the real media did either. Local news stations edit and twist. Just so we are aware, they are out there to manipulate our minds. That's what the news is.
I get that, but what is Don's issue? Every place he's gone, people are manipulating and twisting, and it just keeps going.
Don's issue.
You know what Don's issue is? His wife is crying constantly. He might lose his job because his employer's getting harassed.
I understand that.
The police are getting a bunch of false tips from fake accounts claiming to be Don. This is our fault, not Don's.
Don't you think this would all go away quicker?
If Don just shut up and didn't defend himself?
If everybody shut up.
Yeah, if everybody stops,
yes. That's not going to happen.
It won't, but I mean, that's I would love it.
You know why Don started talking to begin with? Why he started running his mouth? Because he wanted as many people to hear about his daughter, so maybe she could come home. He didn't know if she's in Mexico, if she's in Australia, if she's here, if she's there. That's why. But he very quickly learned that as soon as he went on the news, what happened? We got all these other people playing detective, and this is what happened today. This is not Don's fault.
Detective when
he went on the news. When he went on the news to talk about his missing girl. That's when people started playing detective, and here we are today now.
Yeah,
people started playing detective when the contradictions started.
Bullshit. No, people started playing detective when we saw him on the news. Period.
It started right away.
You were playing detective.
That's what we do at True Crime.
What are you talking about?
The Chris Watts case, Stephen Avery, that's what we do.
No
That's
shit.
what that's a whole true crime thing on YouTube. We don't ever like go after people even if we think they're guilty. Like that's other YouTubers like to do that. We don't. But
But are you giving Dawn the advice to sit down and be quiet now?
I've literally got Dawn in touch with multiple attorneys.
Good for you. It's 2
Yeah.
months
Well,
later.
maybe
It's
it
2
makes
months
Dawn
too
feel
late.
better. Maybe it makes
Enough. Never.
Dawn
It's
feel
2
better to
months
talk.
too late.
Hello, Jojo Peanut.
Hi, how are you guys
Andrew.
tonight?
We're fantastic. Can't you tell?
Yeah, I appreciate you allowing me on your show tonight. And I
Of
have
course.
one question that's been really eating at me since I heard Don say this. This came directly from Don on your live, I guess it was last night. He said he contacted Dave Rader from EquiSearch and had invited him back here because I want you to know I am from the area. I'm not Don's next door neighbor, but I live in the neighboring county, first of all. But he said, you don't have to tell me what his lead is. That's not what I want to know. If he has a lead and he is contacting Dave Rader and asking Dave Rader to contact Hawkins County with this lead, is Don not reaching out himself to law enforcement
Yes,
with
he
this
is.
lead?
We've been on the phone while they are actually talking to law enforcement, and yes, they are doing all the appropriate measures. And that's not really how that happened because I actually know how that happened.
Well,
There's
that's
a
how I
lot.
understood him.
Yeah, he's hard
That's
to
how I-
understand. But here's the thing. He,
pretty much Don just wants them back searching constantly. Like, he
Because
just
there's been
wants
several
the whole
tips.
world to come and search for his daughter. That's what he
There's
wants.
been hold on. There's several tips recently put in to TBI, Jojo. And
That's
he
right.
did. He said, yeah, maybe EquiSearch to come back out. He did a few days ago call, and they were willing to
That's
send
right.
a few people out, but law enforcement said no to them. They then called Don back, EquiSearch. I can't remember the name. I want to say Ron, but I might have that wrong. And he said that Ronnie Lawson had told EquiSearch no. And he also said Ronnie Lawson had said that a certain ex-cop has turned this into a Springer show, and they're trying to reel it in, and said that there's a certain ex-cop that may be hindering investigation altogether with what he's doing. And they told EquiSearch this is just not the right time with his words, according to Don, was the Springer show that's happened because of a certain other cop
It'd be
who
a waste of
still has
resources.
credentials. Yeah. So that's what's going on there.
Well,
Like that.
that's all well and good. I mean, well, it's not. But my point is this: if they have a lead and tips that Don is giving them from wherever he's getting them from, why not use local resources to go out?
You have to listen to law enforcement. They've said no,
Am I
it's
not
up to law
making
enforcement.
sense?
Law enforcement has put out multiple times. They do not go out searching. If people want to come and search, they need to clear it with law enforcement first. I don't know why people aren't listening to this, but it's out
Well,
there.
that's not what I'm saying. If Don has a lead, and this is his child, right? This is his 5-year-old daughter. And if he has a lead, and he's going, hey, Leslie's in the TBI. We all know this. He should have her on speed dial. I've got a tip. Send somebody here to search this area or to do this, to do this work. Why would they turn him down?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
Exactly.
Well,
That's what I was going to say.
that's
If you're in the
because
same
this,
area,
what I heard from you guys last night and coming from Dawn, this is very important to me. I cannot get this out of my mind. I'm very passionate about this. It's why
If Dawn put
if
on
the
his
father
Facebook-
of this 5-year-old girl has evidence or a tip or whatever it is, why can't somebody act on it?
Ask them. We don't know. He gives them the information. Maybe they did act on it. We don't know.
I hope they
Thank
are.
you, Jessica.
Because
I would assume that they are taking it all seriously.
Jessica, thank you.
I would definitely assume that.
we wouldn't know.
I cannot. Yeah.
They may be acting on it, but we just don't know because they're not going to tell us
Yeah.
that information.
They
They're not
don't
going to tell
tell
us what
us.
the tip is.
And like
Thank
someone
you.
said in the
It's supposed
chat,
to
I
look
just
like
want to
they're
say
not
that I
really-
misspoke earlier when I said that the parents have been cleared. They have not been cleared. But if they were found to be lying, like
If
false
you did-
alibis, failing polygraphs and stuff, they would have been taken in and arrested. So that's just where I got that from. But no, they haven't officially been cleared according to police.
Can I ask you, Jojo, what's your opinion here on the whole Summer Wells missing? What is your personal opinion, and how do you feel about this case right now? Your thoughts on what happened? Thank you, Lori.
I flip-flop back and forth on it. I'm going to be honest.
I think that's great, actually. I think that's great.
And every day there's something new that comes out. And honestly, I don't know.
That's where I'm
And
at.
I'm not
I
going
don't
to say one way or the other. And I'm not here to piss people off or make anybody angry or kick me out. I mean,
No, I
honestly,
like that
don't-
you said that you flip-flop because you find something new and you kind of go, right?
Sir
You-
said, thank you. Wow.
Thank you so much.
That's wrong.
Very awesome of you. I actually, I do the same, Jojo. I see nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I think that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I flip flop. Like I go from one scenario to another, and I don't know. All I know is I can't assume that anybody's guilty, and I don't like what I'm seeing with the way, well, Dawn specifically is being treated.
Yeah. Well, I will say this much. I don't give Hunter or his mother or that side of the story much credit at all. I'll say that much.
I agree.
Yeah, it's everybody has been, I don't know, a little bit less than fully forthcoming, or they've just not like you're not going to remember everything perfectly either. But there've been some inconsistencies and stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Helen, or just me, Helen. Sorry, we haven't
Yeah.
really heard from you. What is your thoughts and opinions?
I have two thoughts. One, they talk about them not remembering everything exactly. I lost a daughter, and for 3 weeks or a month, I knew nothing. What was even, I couldn't even say what my daughter was doing.
Facts.
So I don't think your body shuts a lot of that out.
It does.
And
Yeah.
the
You
other thing
experience trauma like
is how the other YouTuber is putting in this essay and making it so gigantic. Now, essay, I feel sorry for anybody who do it, but all the ages are different because Debbie, Don's sister, she said Don was 4, she was 4, and the girls were 3 and 2. So then how do we get to 5 and 12?
I hear all kinds. I hear 3 years difference. I've heard 7. I don't know.
Tomorrow, you guys will get a little bit better. We did an interview with Don's full sister, and I think it's very important that people hear what she has to say, because people are going to learn after hearing this interview that we put out next. There is no pattern of sexual assault or offenses with Don. There's not.
Yeah. Well, we don't know everything, but yeah.
Well, if you would let me speak one more minute. From where I'm coming from, here, there's not a lot of public support for the family. I'm going to say that. Not from here in the same state. I'm in a neighboring county. I'm 40 minutes away from Don. I'm not on the other side of the state. And I'm not saying this, I'm just saying it flat out. Even people in his own backyard, so to speak, aren't really supporting family.
No, of course not. There would be a select few, but yeah, for the most part, when people have a child go missing, the statistics, most times it's the parents, and after that, it's someone else who knew them and all that. But yeah, it definitely, if you go by the statistics, yeah, the parents wouldn't get a lot of support.
Yeah. Well,
if Don, if they weren't talking about,
and also it's kind of sad that they never came out really publicly in the beginning, like you would expect parents of a missing child to do, holding up a picture saying, "This is my daughter. We love her. We miss her. We want her back." Like people do when they have missing children, or out for the longest time, even trying to get a flyer made or putting flyers up or anything. So that, even if they went to the local gas station, the gas station's off the interstate, and said, "Here are some flyers." You know how many people pull off the interstate that are traveling through to, other states? Everybody travels. Everybody gets gas. Oh, maybe I should be on the lookout for this little girl. Maybe they have no idea. I mean, there are some people out there that have no idea she's missing in this country. Not everybody, knows.
Well, I mean,
so
that may not be crossing their mind. That may be other things,
Yeah, are there things that they could have and should have done differently? Absolutely.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, and I have actually seen a picture of a flyer, so I know that they made some and put some up, but they maybe should have done more. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, hindsight and everything.
Hello.
But that doesn't make them
my question
guilty
is,
either.
if there were not any,
Hello.
if there,
I just wanted to see if anybody can hear me. I just wanted to address some things. Just something to think about, for food for thought. So the ones that are not following the whole innocent until proven guilty, I just want you to think about the family, even 5, 10 years down the road, especially if they're innocent or even if they're guilty. This is going to follow them forever. They're not going to be able to have peace anywhere they ever go, because this story will follow them forever.
Yeah.
That includes everybody in the family, even the little ones. So I just want everybody to know, when you're sitting there and accusing people, that the boys can hear that, people can hear that. Sorry about that. And kids are so mean this day and time. So just keep that in thought, because it could affect the other ones later on down the road. So I just wanted to come on and say that. Just be careful what you say, because there's little ears that hear. And that's the father. All right, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay, thank you. And thank you, Bella. And yeah, they are. We say that to Don all the time when he's like, "Do you like Chris putting this out? Do you, should I say anything?" And it's like, "That is up to you." And he always goes, "It can't get any worse, can it?" I'm like, I don't think so. But that's what we say. You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If he didn't talk, they'd be like, "Why isn't he talking? He's guilty." I know that's what everyone would say. Now he's talking, and it's like, well, why is he talking? He's guilty. It's like he can't win. And on YouTube, when we get attacked, we want to defend ourselves. I want to defend him. He wants to defend me. Like, could you imagine that now on a scale to what they're living?
So, yeah, just a little tiny bit that we got to go through is hard.
Benny is so rude. I love that he's rude. Honestly, that's why we're friends.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
We need people who are going to basically slap you for being stupid.
I mean, he's only rude if we get to that point. I can be rude too, but we get our blood boils. Like, I don't know. We just don't. We
We just don't have time to play around, And
Yeah.
people to get caught up in the way it sounds. If you get offended by the word fuck, and you miss the message that I got going, I'm sorry. I hate that for you.
Yeah. And it's like people can't get this through their heads. It's even if Don is guilty, he shouldn't be being treated like this, and his family shouldn't be being treated like this.
You should get
even if it is the way you see it, he still shouldn't be getting this kind of treatment, because it's hurting the whole family, not just Don.
There's something that I'd like to talk about.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm here local. I'm in the area, and I went to the doctor yesterday in Johnson City, Tennessee, which is just right there, right beside of Kingsport. I talked to 4 different people that work there at the doctor's office, and it completely blew my mind. They have not even heard Summer Wells' name.
Actually, a couple attorneys I called in Tennessee on behalf of Don, never heard of him.
And it's so heartbreaking to me. There is a Facebook page, I believe it's called Prayers for Summer Wells. I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it up while I'm here on this group. There's a Facebook page, something like there's Prayers for Summer Wells, D&D Printing in Kingsport. If somebody's able to pull it up and get the phone number for them, they are printing flyers for free, and they are shipping them to people for free so people can distribute. And the name of it, I'm not able to pull the website up, pull it up on, I can't pull it up to get the phone number. But
what did you say the name was?
It's D&D Printing. It's on North Eastman Road in Kingsport, Tennessee.
I
think the
believe it's owned by the church, no?
I'm not sure if it's owned by the church or not. I can't
Okay,
tell.
we're going to contact them and get some information, and we'll definitely be sharing that around. If they're willing to do that, that is
I
awesome.
think the last 4 digits of their phone number is 2885. I think it was.
What does it say?
2882.
That might be it. Yes, 2882.
Okay, I think we got the right one.
288 something.
Yes,
Okay,
Andrea.
yeah, we'll definitely get in touch. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll definitely.
I'm going to be calling them tomorrow, and I'm going to be ordering some for myself. That way, I can just go around my neighborhood and pass them out in my neighborhood, and just I don't know what else to do, you know. But I mean, it's just mind them that just a very short distance away, they've not heard of Summerwell's name, and if they've not heard of Summerwell's name, they don't know about the red truck with ladder racks. They don't know anything.
That's right. Yeah.
And they don't know to be looking for anything or listening for anything or watching. And without the eyes, you're not going to see.
Exactly. Yep. Well said.
And it was just so heartbreaking to hear that they had not heard. And so we need to get flyers. You know, they're offering to print them for free, so it's like get them and distribute them, put them up.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be spreading that around.
But that's just
the more eyes we can get looking for Summer, the better. That's what we want.
We don't need tongues. We need eyes. We don't need the evil tongues flashing out at the Wells family. We need eyes, and we need people to come together as a community and find Summer. In Summer, we're going to know what happened. You know, they're going to they'll make the conclusion of the matter so much easier to find out who and what and when. You know, because they're going to be able to find out the how.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that's a great point for us to end this stream on, actually. So yeah, we'll be talking with D&D Printing and getting that info, and we'll make sure we spread that around, and hopefully other YouTubers will be doing that too. Because yeah, if there's people living in that area don't know about Summer being missing, that's not good. We need everybody there, everybody in that area.
Everybody should know her name and face. So what did Elizabeth say? Say her name, see her face.
Yeah,
and
see her
actually, I
face,
want to
say
drop
her
that
name.
video link really quick because it was really good.
That was a very good video.
If anybody wants to take money and donate it to D&D Printing, I'm sure they would be grateful and they could do more. I mean,
Absolutely.
You know, just if you can't do anything, you know, just ask them. You know, we'll donate something for your supplies and for you know, because it does take money to print those flyers.
I'll call them tomorrow and donate something.
That would be awesome. And that's exactly what we're going to do as well. And
yeah, for sure.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find a link really quick. Elizabeth Massey, I think that's her name. She made just like a little.
I'll see if I can find it.
Okay.
Thank y'all for listening to me. Thank you for allowing me to step here. God bless you all.
God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, this one.
Awesome.
Okay, everybody, give this video a watch. It's very powerful.
Okay, well, that's about it for tonight. It's my bedtime. I'm going to try to do this earlier tomorrow. Hope you can make it, Fairy Floss. Thank you all for hanging out and all that good stuff. And we will continue tomorrow. Love you all. Good night.